Welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dirt Life Show, KOH Recap, presented by Can-Am. Man, this year's KOH Recap, or this year's KOH was just insane in general. Today, we're at IMG Motorsports here in Lake Elsinore, California. As you can see, my buddy James's number is right here behind us. So thanks, James, for hooking us up with a place to stay warm. My name's Georgie Hamill. Welcome to the Dirt Life Show. This is episode 153, man. We're going to talk a whole bunch about some really, really cool stuff today. Once again, KOH recap tonight. 2023 KOH was insane. Like, just insane. Thanks to the guys at IMG Motorsports for having us here. Like I said, the Can-Am's bringing you the show today. So thank you to the fine folks over at Can-Am. Man, their drivers did pretty killer. Share the show too, so that way we can get more people on here. Let's just go over some of the results here, and then I'll tell you who's going to join us. It's going to be pretty rad. Kyle Chaney was the first one. He won overall in a pro stock UTV, so we'll talk to him a little bit about it tonight. Phil Blurton was second. He raced a pro mod UTV. He's going to join us tonight. Cole Clark was third. Dustin Battleaxe Jones was fourth. And we're talking just about the UTV rock race here. Dustin Battleaxe Jones is going to come on tonight as well. Hunter Miller, looks like he came home fifth in the pro stock class as well. He's going to come on tonight. Cody Miller, he doesn't care about us. He's just out there fishing. He was sixth. Travis Zollinger, what up, Travis? He was seventh. Jay Shaw did a great job. Came home eighth. Was flying in qualifying. Robert Parker ninth. Casey Curry 10th. So there was a lot of people, man, out there just ripping. I still don't understand how to do the rocks. Not a big rock guy, but man, it's so cool to see all those guys doing so well. So yeah, like I said, we're going to have all those great drivers. We got Kyle Chaney on. Hunter Miller is going to come on. Cody Miller, he's bailed and went fishing. So he cares more about fish than he does about his fans. Dustin Battleaxe Jones is going to come on. Vito Ranuio, we're going to talk to him a little bit too. Vito did the desert race, so we'll talk to him a little bit about that. Phil Blurton's going to come on, and Mitchell Alsup. Mitchell Alsup also, I think he raced a stock car too. So, man, yeah, Brock, yeah, they did a fantastic job. And special guest today, we're going to have Chris Meyer from Maxxis Tires. He's going to virtually co-host this with me. So depending on how much time he gets, he'll hang on with us for a little while. We had a great time at KOH with the Maxxis crew. So let's get Chris on real quick, and then we'll start talking a little bit about how fun KOH was, how gnarly it was, some of the backstory, and then we'll start talking with some of our drivers. Chris, what's up, homie?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Should be fun.
Let's see here. I can't hear you that good. Can you talk us a little bit louder?
Hello, can you hear me now?
There you go. Okay, good. All right, man. So I was like just mentioning to everybody, KOH was gnarly, dude. Gnarly this year.
Yeah. I mean, it from attendance to dust to the course being laid out well. I think Dave did a good job with the course, made it challenging. I think the change up of qualifying, blasting up Chocolate Thunder versus what we've seen in years past was pretty rad. I mean, overall.
Let's talk about that qualifying, because that was kind of wild, right? Desert Squadron just chimed in and said, let's see here. Rocks apparently require patience, whatever that is. Yeah, dude, that's why I'm saying I'm not a big rock guy. Rock Fisher, yeah. A couple people said that your volume is a little low, Chris, so you might have to speak up a little bit. So,
got you.
Let's talk about the qualifying a little bit. The qualifying was kind of weird this year because they did what's called a prologue, kind of like that rally style. And in my opinion, good, bad, or indifferent, I really think that qualifying was the most important part of everybody's whole weekend. Like, that's pretty wild to me to understand that all that can hinge because of the way that the structure was set up. What did you think?
I mean, initially you kind of go, hey, you could do a ton of damage to your car, right? Like versus the traditional course. but at least they are competing on something similar to what race day is, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, years past, you had guys run a completely different setup on qualifying day. So I kind of like, at least you're competing in a setup that is equal to race day.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So it's almost like, I don't know, practice, so to speak. I just think that there's so much hinging on it. East Coast Cowboys official said bad feedback. I don't hear any of the feedback on my end. It's tough to hear. Chris has a bad echo. Chris, I'm not sure. Maybe try to not use your ear pods.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Yeah.
All right, so I'll keep talking. Hopefully, it's not a bad echo when I talk. So, let me give a shout out to all of our sponsors here, real quick. Obviously, Chris from Maxxis Tires. Thank you very much, Maxxis, for being a part of the Dirt Life Show. We really appreciate it. You can always check us out on Facebook and YouTube, and hit us up on Instagram. Direct message us through there. Get interactive with us. There's a little airplane button like right down there on the right-hand side. So share this with your friends if you want them to watch it too. And help us grow the show, man. It really, really helps. Share the show as much as possible. Thank you guys over at KMC Wheels. They've been a part of the show and actually part of my race program for a long time. I was thinking about it the other day. 6 years we've been a partner with Wheel Pros and KMC. So thank you to those guys. Really appreciate it. The guys over at Motul. Just so happens that we have some Motul products behind us over here at IMG Motorsports. Those guys use Motul products as well. Looks like those are like some cleaning products. So grab yourself some cleaning products from Motul or some oils for your side-by-side after you get done with your dune season. Change your oil and get it all dialed in. Thanks to the guys over at Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE. Get yourself any of those hard parts, any of that stuff from Shock Therapy. Thanks to the guys over at JL Audio. We got a super cool project coming up with them. We're building our Pro R. We got some Maxxis tires, some KMC wheels, all kinds of rad stuff that's going on that car. The JL Audio guys are throwing some stuff at Moses over at used to be called Brick City Fabrication, but now it's called the Fab Lab. Putting together that bad boy, it's gonna freaking rock your socks, man. So I can't wait to hear that. Stereo System, the guys at Evolution Power Sports, go cop some of this new merch. Let's see here. Zollinger Racing Products. Like I said, Travis actually got a 7th place over there at King of the Hammer. So good job, Travis. Use the code TheDirtLife. Go buy some tie rods, radius rods, any of their hard parts, man. There's like Gucci.
All right, is it echoing now while you're doing all that? Do we sound better, people?
It sounds good to me. Thanks to the guys over at Vision Canopy, and thanks to the guys over at Cryo Heat. Always good to have these rad partners of the show. Let us know if okay, good. It sounds like we don't have an echo anymore, Chris. So we really appreciate it. We got a bunch of people logging on. So loved how the Desert Start allowed. Brock Fisher said, "Loves how the Desert Start allowed all the drivers to separate before they got into the Kings." Yeah, I mean, there was so many changes this year. You know what? Actually, one of the things we're gonna get Kyle Chaney on here in a couple minutes. But one of the things that I thought was cool was that they had the short course racing, dude. That was insane cool. I was pumped on that. So hopefully Chris will be able to get a little bit better connection, better audio, then he can still join us. Instagram is always a pain in the butt. Never, ever fails. So we really appreciate you guys all joining. We're going to get Kyle Chaney on here in a little bit. Let us know what you guys think, too, about how crazy it was that they mixed all of the UTVs together, the stock class, the pro mod class, everybody, and they all went off their timing in the prologue. That was really cool. So let us know what you guys think of that. Was it bad for some drivers? Was it good for some drivers? We'll talk to Kyle and see what he thinks about it. But I would like to see what your guys' opinion are too, especially some of the guys that have already been chiming in. Sounds like you guys are pretty smart about all the KOH racing. So agreed. Love to see KOH growing. Yeah, it's cool. I think it's really cool. And it gives the opportunity for some of these guys on the West Coast to get their short course trucks out there and cars too. So mixing them was done right. Yeah, I think so too, Olson. I think it was pretty cool. I know some people were like, "Oh man, we got to have a stock car in front of us or whatever," but still, dude, step it up, man. Dust was brutal. All right, let's get Kyle Chaney on here real quick, and we'll start talking to him about spinning is winning is Kyle's motto. See what he says. Kyle Chaney, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, good. Just driving home from the bar. Had some twisted teas.
Oh, perfect.
Just a little dark in here.
Yeah, that's not worrisome at all, dude. Can't see you at all. Not creepy whatsoever. Hey, let me get your buddy Scottie Lawrence on here, and then we'll jump into it. All right.
All right.
So Scottie Lawrence is going to join us as well. Scottie was sitting in the right side seat with Kyle Chaney during that winning race that you guys had. What's up, Scottie? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We're not quite as dark and mysterious as Kyle, either of us, but hey, we're doing it.
Uh-huh.
What? I can't let anybody know where I'm at. I can't let anybody know my whereabouts.
He turned off the GPS on his phone, too, so you can't find out where he is.
When I deer hunt, I do. I absolutely do. Absolutely.
That way nobody can snipe out your spot.
Dude, ask my girlfriend. She's like, why did you shut your location off? Because you're with another girl? I'm like, no, I'm hunting.
Oh, maybe we should just convert the Dirt Life show over into a hunting show. That way we can have Kyle on all the time.
Oh, I would talk to you all day, every day about hunting.
No, he would never shut up if that was the case.
Hunter Miller's already throwing jabs out, dude. Hey, so let's talk a little bit of serious stuff, and we can fuck around along the way too. So, Can-Am gave you guys the opportunity to drive the stock class this year, and you came home with the overall UTV win in the rocks, dude. Like, that, to me, on its own, is just a gnarly statement right there. And then second, the way we opened the show was KOH was insane gnarly this year, so maybe you guys could just expand on that. Why don't you go first, Kyle, and then Scottie can take it up later.
Well, if you've been reading Facebook comments and Instagram, definitely wasn't a stock car. So, you can just throw that out the window.
Oh, you guys are already getting some heat for it?
Yeah, it wasn't a stock car. I mean, it had aftermarket parts on it. It's not stock. We didn't uncrate it on the line. So, how can you say you raced a stock car if you didn't uncrate the thing on the line?
Oh, my God. I love social media so much, dude. That's wicked that people would see that. Like, it's clearly got to be safer for a race car to be out there at KOH.
Yeah, I mean, the way that me and Scottie race, we race wide open, 6,900 RPM, all the time. How are you going to make a stock car live like that?
That's a very good RPM range. But, yeah, no, I mean, I get it, right? Chris Meyer, you back?
I'm back, baby. We'll see. All right.
Of course, he's got a Maxxis hat on.
Oh. So, Scottie, when we talk about KOH, give us a little bit of a rundown of what the difference was this year than in 2022.
I think the biggest difference this year was that I think me and Kyle beat our brains out with that stock car, but we wanted to win. We had a job to do, and Kyle kept pushing forward and got it done.
What's the main differences when you're driving? Clearly, everybody's going to say it's a mod car, but Kyle, since it's a stock car, you have to push it that much harder, but still hold back so that you don't break it, because there's a lot of components that are stock on that vehicle. So what's the move? Because you're trying to go for an overall win, but you're competing against these mod guys. That's wild.
So when we started the race, we're like, yeah, with smaller tires and everything, we're going to be able to beat the car a little more. We're going to have to, we can push a little harder, but we were totally wrong. We got to the first rock section. We started slamming the bottom off the ground. We started beating the rims into the rocks. And I'm like, man, we're going to have to slow down. I can't run race pace. So we just had to I told Scott, I'm like, if some dudes catch us, we're just going to have to run our race because I can't go any faster without breaking the car. So we just ran a real consistent, I can't say it was slow, but it was a very reserved pace. It just kept the car together a mod car really.
That is kind of crazy. So Scottie, when you hear Kyle talking about that and when you were sitting in the car, is that almost playing in your mind slow motion? Because as a racer, you want to go faster.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You always want to go faster. I think that's one of the challenges of KOH. Probably the biggest challenge is going fast and not breaking the car. Anytime I get a new driver that has never raced a side-by-side, but they might have raced something else, these cars perform so good. I tell them it's easy to go fast. It's hard to go fast and not break the car because you want to go. So, Kyle does a great job of understanding the limits of the machine that he's in and just driving it right against the edge. And like he was saying, I think it surprised both of us when we got out there for pre-running. We weren't really expecting especially going down Spooners, man, we were afraid we were going to break the car. So he just had to back off a little bit and just try to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah, this is wild to think. Chris, when you were able to go out there and look at some of the course, like every time I go out there, I'm like, how the F does a UTV make it up some of this stuff? And honestly, Kyle actually makes it look easy in his stock car.
Oh, it's true. It's impressive. I think every time, there's so many times I've come up to the base of something personally in the UTV and gone, it's not going to make it up this, right? And then it motors up it, and then it hammers. It's like a whole nother level. But I love the balance of hammers where you kind of like you're playing blackjack. Like, how fast can I go and not break? Is this fast enough that everyone going faster than me breaks? And that the first year you go out there, it's really eye opening. The 4,400 vehicles look like they're not going to make it up. And these things aren't that big.
Dude, it's kind of crazy to think. Well, actually, how many years have you guys raced KOH now, Kyle?
So this is our 5th year. The first year we went out there and we broke within 30 miles. We had an issue. And then the second race, me and Hunter were battling for the lead. And that was the year I flipped and broke my foot. And we made it back up to second. And then we've won the last 3 years.
Which year was the one that you ran yourself over?
2020.
Okay, gotcha.
That was a good year.
No, 20. Was it 20?
It was worth it, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't.
Were you in the car at that time, Scottie, or were you out?
We were both out of the car when he decided to run himself over.
I still think that's a crazy story.
That was where the whole put it in park joke came in and started.
What joke is that?
Just anytime you get out of a car, you say, put it in park. Because
it doesn't matter where I'm. I can be at a short course race. You can tell me to put it in park.
You got to put it in park so you don't run yourself over. If it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and mark that as one of the clips that we're going to put on social media for the follow-up of this show.
Put it in park.
Put it in park.
Man, but it was pretty crazy this year, and they ran the course in essence kind of like backwards, right? Like, what were some of the most challenging things that you guys faced on the course? Was it like with the vehicle? Was it with the course? Like, I don't really understand because I've never done KOH, so I want to give like myself an understanding of what's going through your head sitting behind the sitting in the passenger seat and sitting in the driver's seat.
Well, to start, we had belt temp issues. Like, our belts was getting a little hot, so I could only drive the car as fast as the belt would let me go, which wouldn't allow me to pass the guy in front of me. So, like, it took me a while to get by the guy in front of me. And then there was still Jay Shaw, which was leading the race. And by the time I got in front of Paul, Jay was checked out. He was 2 miles ahead. I'm like,
dude,
man,
he was ripping.
Dude, Jay was on it, and I'm like, he's maybe pushing a little hard, but, Jay's a pusher. Jay's not a, he ain't no bitch. Jay pushes. I'm like, man, we got to catch him. Like, if he gets to the rocks, like, we need to beat him to the rocks. So he ended up getting a flat, but, we ended up making it to the rocks first. But it's just, man, the whole thing is literally just keeping the car together and going as fast as the car can go. Like, the second you try to push the car faster than it can go, you're done.
Dude, that seems like such a mind F, right? Because, like, you got to think of so many different things. Is that easy to manage, Scottie, or no?
Yeah, I mean, from the passenger seat of Kyle's car, it's easy to manage because he's always thinking about not breaking the car. I think a lot of that comes from cross-country racing at GNCC. Man, for years, these guys that raced the OG Mavericks were they were breaking all the time and trying to figure out what worked and what didn't. And I kind of came into side-by-side racing when the X3 came in, and so I didn't go through those struggles like Hunter, Cody, and Kyle have. but that gave them, I think, a lot of lessons in how to drive the car fast and not break it all the time.
Yeah, totally. It makes your driving style so much different. I remember racing in the Razor 900 compared to like what you can race now. It's like you were such a timid driver in those cars. So I can only imagine what Kyle went through and doing that GNCC stuff, because that's another level.
Yeah, and it kind of hinders me sometimes because, like, especially like in qualifying stuff, sometimes I don't push as hard as like I should, unless I'm mad. Like, then I'll push hard. Like, I'm mad for 4,400 next year. Like, I'm coming to win that race. Like, DNF in that race this year was the greatest thing I ever did. Like, 100% lit a fire under my ass. Like, I'm coming back and I'm coming for the win in that class.
Dude, actually, like, that makes me feel cool, like, really good about your chances next year. Because, dude, honestly, every time I see those things, like, those guys are just pinned. Like, it's just win or wad. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and they've got, their cars are tough, but, we've made so much progress on the X3, and it's so good right now, especially the mod cars. Like we're coming out swinging next year. I'm done, with the top 10's going to be good. Anything but a win will be a loss to me in that next year.
Dude, that's wild. Chris, can you imagine if a UTV won the 4,400 class?
Yes, I can.
Dude, that would be so wild, dude, to see.
I'm telling you, you look at where the money in the sport is flowing pretty quickly. I know there's a ton of money at the top, but I could see it. And
Do you guys know what the purse is for 4,400? Like, what do you get if you win it?
It's like $100,000. Like, you get the Bronco, and I think it's like a total of $100,000.
Oh, fuck, dude. That would help your hunting career so much.
Well, yeah, if they make it so I could stay home during the whole hunting season, then that would help out.
Looks like the CT Razors guys just chimed in and said, we're setting up 4,400 Can-Am to win. Yeah, dude, do it. Like, I can't wait to see that bad boy. Let's see here. Dave's Coles are ears on somewhere right now, hopefully. $55,000. Dude, that's a lot of money for an off-road race.
Yeah, but it's not about the money. I mean, if you're racing for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. I mean,
dude, I like money.
Yeah, I mean, don't we all? But I mean, really, like, it's that's why I like KOH so much, because anybody in off-road is there racing, and you get to race the top guys from every form of off-road, and that's why I love KOH, because everybody's there. Like there's no bullshit. Like, everybody is there.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, I mean, racers race, right? Like, that's the reason that everybody does it, is because they want to go out and they have the passion for it. All right,
winning that race is respected around the globe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Hey, so let's shift gears a little bit from the race. Well, actually, tell me what your favorite part about the race was, and then I want to ask some other questions about non-racing shit.
Me, or?
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I mean, the UTV race, I don't know if I really had a favorite part. I mean, maybe, once we got to the lead, getting to the rocks first and controlling the race. Like, if you get to the rocks first, you control the race. So that was probably my favorite part, because I knew once me and Scott got to the rocks, we already had our plan set in place, and I knew it was going to be tough to beat us.
Dude,
but for 4,400, it may be dumb to say, but my favorite part was DNFing, because, I would have been happy with it, whatever position I finished in, and right now I'm not. So, like, I'd have been fine with a third or a fourth or a 10th, but, now, like I said, that just fucking lit the fire in me.
Dude, that's good, though, man, because that means you're just going to come out raging next year. Scottie, what about you, man?
I agree with Kyle. Once we got to the rocks, I knew we just had to be smooth. My job was really pretty easy, just keep talking to Kyle, let him know we had comms, let him know where the course was. And then we had one spot where we figured we would have to winch, and we did. And it went smooth, got back in the car, and then it was just cruise to the finish line. And I think we made it there in a little over 3.5 hours this year. So every year they keep saying they're going to make it tougher and tougher, but I mean, hasn't been proven to be too awfully tough in the UTV. In the 4,400, I rode with Kyle the first year that he did that. And being the fact that I'm celebrating my 15th anniversary of my 29th birthday, it's not as easy as it used to be. And
Happy birthday.
So thank you. Terry steps in for that race, and he's got so much experience in the rocks, and he lives out there literally. So, he's a great choice for that. If they ever get in a spot where they need to winch or do something crazy, I know he's going to be able to do it. And now we just got to keep Kyle from breaking the car.
We know Chris likes racing side by sides too, podium guy over here. But Scottie, so if you had your choice, would you actually go out and do the driver's role as well, or is it just too gnarly?
Oh, I definitely feel like I'm capable of driving that race. I really like driving in the rocks. It's really fun because it's so challenging. But I know what it takes to win this race. And running a business, racing myself, and some other stuff. I mean, I'm completely 100% happy to go out there and support Kyle. And I mean, even just being a co-driver out there, I'm studying the maps. I'm making sure I know the course. So if for some reason something would happen and that GPS would go offline, I still feel pretty confident that we're going to be okay between the two of us. We're going to get there.
Dude, Chris, that's a testament to itself right there, understanding that a professional racer would second guess themselves, but also understand that they could be part of the team, a winning team, and put themselves in a position to be a helper. Dude, that's insane cool.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to prove how much of an accomplishment winning this race is, performing well at this race. I mean, it really is a team effort. When you see the pits and how many people are there for each of these cars that goes out there, the pit service that we offer at our truck, I mean, it's a huge, huge effort. So
no one wins this race.
That's what makes it so cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's talk about some fun stuff. So what I'm hearing basically, Kyle, is that you got a fire under your ass right now. You want to go out and win 4,400 next year. Let's just say you're on top of the podium. That means that we're all good. We can retire, take the cash, just go hunting, and just call it a life.
Yeah, I'm just going to drop the mic, and you'll never see me again.
For you, that's exactly what I was thinking. Perfect, dude. You only got a year left till you retire. This is sounding really good now.
I'm becoming a cattle farmer, so I mean, I'll just hunt deer and ride cows around, I guess.
Dude, this is a fantastic life here. We'll see what the Miller brothers say about that. Hey, so a couple things that I wanted to ask about was we talked about in the KOH pre-show, like what people were going to eat on the lake bed and stuff. Did you guys have like a fantastic meal while you were out there? Because I still think it's so cool that everybody just brings all this stuff to the lake bed and basically just lives life.
No, I spent a lot of money on food. That's about all I know.
What was your favorite thing to eat while you were out there?
I ate peanut butter and jelly so my crew could eat real food. And that's about the truth. That is the truth. I ate cereal and peanut butter and jelly.
For 3 weeks straight, right? What about you, Scottie? Did you guys get to enjoy some good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I eat pretty good while I'm out there. Fruit snacks are flowing, and
he's one of the crew that eats good.
Yep.
Gushers for the
I got
win.
to sleep good and I got to eat good. I can't perform without sleeping and eating. So
right.
The reason I was going to ask that because I wanted to give a shout out because we're looking for a taco sponsor, and La Bufadora was really, really good out there at KOH. So thanks, Maxxis, for doing that taco party as well. You guys have any interesting stuff that happened off the race course, like maybe in the pits or like while you were out there for so long?
Yeah, when I landed in Phoenix on my way out there, my deer showed up on my trail camera during daylight.
No way.
I swear. I was so upset. I landed at Phoenix and tried to get another flight home to make it back for that evening hunt, but there wasn't one.
Dude, that hurts my heart, and I don't even hunt.
Yeah, it's sad.
Dude,
It's sad.
Yeah, I got one here before I got to go. I got one for you. We took a 6x6.
Yeah,
He was It might have been that 6x6 climbing back door too.
It could have been. Yeah, it just about went up back door. I saw some video. That was pretty impressive.
Dude, you guys are probably pretty hydrated to be able to try something like that. That's actually a pretty good story.
It was the hydration, I'm sure.
That's a good story, though. How did you guys get back? Did you have to, you walk back or what?
Oh, it wasn't us. It was the pit guys.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, dude.
It ran out of fuel while they were going to pit 2 with all the tools, the spare parts, everything like that. And so they ended up having to get a backup pit vehicle, and then they towed it back to the pit.
Dude, that's wild. That's a funny
pushed
story.
Pushed it onto the trailer with another Defender with a tire between them.
You know those guys aren't going to make that same fucking mistake again.
Oh, they will. Trust me. Yeah, they will.
Oh, man. Great ideas come at KOH. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to get Hunter Miller on here, too. If you guys are more than welcome to stay if you guys want. We got to have one guy drop off, but I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yep. I'm out
of here.
Thank you, George.
I'm hiding.
All right,
I got hiding to do.
See you guys later. Thank you. Hey, congrats on KOH, too.
Thank you.
Man. So I think Maxxis should probably invest in a 6x6, Chris, and then we'll go out there and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
I'll put the request in tomorrow.
A 6x6. Could you imagine all these dudes just hydrating and just going straight? Well, actually, that's probably 90% of the people out at KOH, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're not alone. They're not alone. We need to get we get a 6x6 and we'll put it in the back of a 2.5. And then we really got something.
I like where this is going. So what do you think, Hunter Miller? You think we should get a 6x6 and a 2.5 for KOH next year?
Absolutely. It just my light.
Oh, much better. You got a ring light over there? OnlyFans? You just got your OnlyFans light?
Yeah, I took it off Brianna's at-home camera.
Perfect. Hey, first of all, man, KOH, like we were just talking to Kyle about, was insane this year. And I'm not just talking about the track. Like, we saw a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, and you were able to actually show some of the stuff on social media of you guys actually just pushing your car across the finish line, man. You guys were ripping, right? And the belt temp got a little bit too hot. Sometimes it does. And then, man, you were about to freaking pass out, dude. Like, that whole scene or whatever you want to call it just like reinvigorated my passion for off-road. Like, I loved that you guys did all that. Remember when Ryan Hughes pushed his bike across the finish line at that national years and years ago? That's what it reminded me of.
Where was that? I don't remember, but I'm glad somebody enjoyed it. I definitely did not.
Were you about to throw up?
Oh yeah, I was trying to rip my helmet off. All I wanted to do was throw up. And luckily, Chad is a freaking beast, so he got it across. We were like running the last corner, and I just heard Chad yelling, "Push, push!" And I thought somebody was coming. And I swear we picked up like 5 miles an hour. And I thought to myself, man, Chad is an absolute animal. Well, I had no idea that Dustin had come up with a push. I thought it was just all Chad because he was basically dragging me at the point. But no, it's.
You thought he was built like the Incredible Hulk?
He is basically. He's dude's in better shape than I'll ever be in my life. I can tell you that.
Dude, it's awesome just to see that all transpire was just really cool to me. And obviously, like, your social media probably blew up because of it, but it was just really cool to see, man. It's like a heartwarming story, right? All right, let's backtrack a little bit, though. So you guys put in a shitload of effort to be able to practice and do everything that you can to be ready and pre-running and all this stuff for KOH. But honestly, dude, when it comes to, like, race week, everything changes. It's like almost like you get your muscle memory still there, but you have to almost throw all this stuff out the window because there's so much other stuff going on.
Yeah. The result that probably lapped everybody, but especially Kyle. But no, it was hard, man. I mean, the place is just so overwhelming because there's so many people, and this year is bigger. It seemed like. I mean, if you weren't familiar with the place and you had to make your Chocolate Thunder, well, got a GPS, because you weren't going to find it. It was a tough year for sure. We got there about a week and a half before weight week. And, it was every single day, sun up to sundown, pre-running and shock testing and working, when it comes to the race, like, that's the easy part, really.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I was going to comment on is, so me being the media guy, I went around, talking to people and seeing how everybody was doing and checking in with the teams and stuff. One thing that I noticed was like your crew was all there working on different cars, but there was usually always a car gone from the pits, and that was usually either you or Cody were actually out doing stuff. So it was like no downtime.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, like you can't waste time over there because the days are kind of short too. I mean, it gets like 6, but who wants to get up then? So by the time we get on the hills at like 9 or so, I mean, it's getting dark, 4:30. So you don't have a lot of time to wait, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is actually a good segue right here. So East Coast Cowboys official just said, who's Cody? Well, unfortunately, Cody's out fishing. I wanted to make sure that I let everybody know that he cares about fish more than he cares about his fans, so he didn't make it tonight.
I actually had a fun. Gonna have a little paper pass to put on questions as but
get it printed out and do it. Hey, so I think I figured out what's wrong with your connection. I don't think anything's wrong with your connection, Hunter. I think it's actually your phone. You've had the same phone on all these Dirt Life interviews. I think it's your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It just cuts out every now and then.
Oh man, I even got my fucking rope to the end of the road. This is where my wife has to come at conference calls because the internet's not good enough at my house.
Nice. Hey, look at what the lengths you have to go to come on the Dirt Life show. No, honestly, it sounds better now than it did at the house. Hey, so I'm looking at some of the results right now, and it looks like you obviously came across the line in 5th, but give me a little bit of an understanding. So you were 26 minutes behind Kyle, and it looks like, I don't know, roughly 10 minutes behind Dustin and so on. But when you think about those gaps at a race like this, like everybody's like, oh, that's so long. But like, I feel like that is a really short amount of time. Like that's like one mistake, right?
Yeah, no, we had a borderline perfect race, to be honest, but minus a couple of little issues. And so, well, it started with qualifying. I had a really good run going, and I don't know why. Me and Cody were talking about a line that we were debating on if we were going to take it. Well, he was taking off right behind me. I took the line, and it sucked. So I asked Chad, I was yelling at the radio, Cody, just don't take that line. He was about to take off as soon as we cleared Chocolate Thunder. Well, when Chad was doing it, I have my start right beside his radio button, and I think he accidentally hit the start button with his knuckle when he was trying to hit the radio button, which killed the car. And so I'm just coasting across the top of the ridgeline, trying to figure out why I got no power. When we come to a stop, I start the car right back up and take off. So I qualified 14th, which, isn't great. It's not the worst position in the world. It's just the dust was so bad that I knew we were going to be eating a lot of it. But we made up a bunch of time right off the bat. We were jamming through the desert pretty hard and made a bunch of passes. And actually, I just had got right up to Dustin's bumper and all of a sudden just lost all brakes completely. And so rather than, pump them, luckily, I thought to pull over real quick before I drained the reservoirs. And I kind of figured a rock hit a banjo bolt. So, of course, I get out and I start checking them. And sure enough, a rock had smashed my rear brake calipers and busted the banjo bolt. So that took me probably 10 minutes to fix. And then we had one flat tire coming down Jack North, but aside from that, we never got out. Everything was perfect, and we drove straight up sledge, everything. But in that race, if it takes you 5 minutes to change a tire, man, you may lose closer to 10, 15 minutes, just depending on how many cars pass you and how many jams you hit. Because of that, one little mistake has such a huge effect on your overall time. It's crazy. So
that is wild. Yeah, to think about that, because in racing, right, you always think oh, well, if I make a mistake, but clearly if you make a mistake, it's going to hurt you. But there's so many little things that can happen. That's wild.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. One issue costs a lot of time, and then you're just trying to make it back up, and you start driving harder, and then that leads to potentially more flat tires, broken parts, because you're trying to make up time. You can only go so fast through those rocks. The cars only take so much. So it's just a matter of figuring out where that.
Yeah.
Kind of the goal is to reduce the amount of variables, right? Like, so if you break and then you let a bunch of people pass you, the amount of opportunities for something else to go wrong exponentially increases, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally. And Brock Fisher just kind of said that too. Like, and Kyle talked about this too. Well, actually, Scottie did as well. It says a lot about the Millers. It says a lot about all these racers, like being able to understand and feel their cars. It's almost like a third, arm or something, right? Like it's an extra appendage that they can feel their cars so much. Like, it's pretty wild. Did you guys have different tires on the stock cars compared to the mod cars, or were they all the same tires?
We run the Maxxis, but in the stock class, you're limited to a 33, but the Rockzilla comes in a 32. So we had a 32-inch tire on the stock cars, and we were 35 on mod cars, or on the 4400.
Could you tell a big difference in the way that the car performed? Like, because Kyle was just talking about like the stock cars were quite a bit lower, and he wasn't really ready for it dragging all over the place.
Yeah, it's a massive difference. Like the 32s will go just about anywhere, but number one, they beat the living crap out of you just because you don't have quite the clearance. And, you have to hit everything so much harder to get through it because you have to carry a lot more momentum because, of course, the belly's going to drag a lot more. So, you definitely don't, when you're going through the rocks with smaller tires like that, you definitely don't want to stop and eye up an obstacle. You kind of got to really know where you're going and have your line set and just carry your momentum through. But, it's funny. Everybody thinks that, or at least for me, this is my experience, but it seems like everybody thinks, bigger tires lead to harder on the drivetrain and the whole car in general. But for me, I feel like it's the opposite. The bigger the tire, the better control I have of the throttle and the easier I can be on things.
Yeah, just because the footprint's bigger, right? Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, Kyle was talking about how fired up he is to win 4400 class next year. I kind of wanted to just take it back to this year, right? Like, just seeing some of those pictures, High Rev Photos actually sent us, or we got a photo from them, and that photo was the picture perfect photo of KOH. It showed a bunch of 4400 cars all stacked up. One of them was flipped over on its side, and the you guys, or I think it was your brother, was trying to go up this straight up this one rock, and it shows all that. Like, to me, when I saw that picture that they took, I was like, holy cow, dude. To be able to win in the 4400 class would be insane. But I want to hear, from your guys' point of view, driving in that class this year, how gnarly it was.
Yeah, you can't even explain the difference in the UTV race and the 4400 race. Like, it's just one more lap, but that one extra lap through all the hard stuff is like running the entire UTV race over again. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Like, what you have to do to keep the car together for that extra lap, number one. And then number two, we're having to go way faster than we do in the UTV race just to keep from getting run over, So, I mean, it's definitely tougher because of the scale of the vehicles that we're up against. UTVs don't move the rocks around that much, but those 4400s, they wreck shit when they go through there.
Yeah, because they can spit some of those big rocks just out the side, right?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, huge boulders that were in the off to the side of the trail, will be in the middle of it, or if they're in the middle of it, they're off to the side. The upper part of Sledge, the first day we pre-ran it, was kind of a pain to get through. It's a real pain to get through. Next day we go through the highway. They had moved these giant rocks around.
Oh, so it was a completely different line. Chris, dude, if we were out there, let's just say we raced a UTV in the 4400 class, I would be shitting my pants if one of those guys was right behind us.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is they just keep pushing you. They'd help you up so you get out of their way.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask Hunter. It's like,
that's what
when you have those big vehicles around you, I mean, it is a little different, right? Like, because they could move you out of the way if they wanted to. Whereas side by side can't quite do that. That's got to be a little bit of a different feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's scary. I mean, in the rocks, honestly, we hold our own pretty good against those things. In a lot of cases, we have a big advantage. We just can't bat through there like they do. I mean, if they get hung up, they just slam it in reverse, floor it, slam it back and drive and floor it. Where we got to really kick our way through. Because, compared to them, our drivetrain toothpicks. So we've got to be careful and find our way through. We don't have different horsepower to do, but in the desert, that's where the real difference is. I mean, our chassis will keep up, but those things can run 120 lake bed where we're lucky to get to 100, and really can't sustain it for that long just because it's a drive by our belt temp. But no, it's fun, man. It's the challenge of that class is what really draws us to it, and we've done better every single year. We're gonna keep on going until we win the thing. I don't know how far, but maybe next year.
Dude, yeah, that's cool. So you got a fire under your ass like Kyle does now too, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I love the UTV race, and it's awesome. But the adrenaline you get lining up next to those monsters is not like anything else.
Yeah, dude, I can only imagine like starting next to one of those dudes would be so crazy. Dude, it's like a kid in a mini bike starting against a 450 professional like Eli Tomac. It's just wild, dude.
Oh man, I started next to Brendan Thompson. Everybody saw his qualifying run on Top Thunder, and I'm a big fan off that. I must have watched it 1,000 times just off the Instagram clip of him going through the obstacle on Chocolate Thunder, and then I was BSing with him next. At the starting line, I was like, dude, I don't want anything to do with that against you in the desert. But,
dude, I can just see Chris like Hunter down there just fanboying.
Just what?
I said I can just see Hunter down there just fanboying.
Yeah. Well, you got when you're about to go into battle, you got to kind of you soften up some people so when you blast past them, they don't see it coming.
Playing mind games with a 4400 is probably not going to work very well.
Right. There was a picture of Brendan on like one line, and it was you, Hunter, wasn't it? I can't remember who. Someone tagged us in it. It was just rad, like high speed pursuit.
Luckily, I got by him right there. Like you go through the start and then through kind of a narrow little sand wash, and then it just opens up. There's like 5 lines of whoops. And I had a pretty good one to the left, and luckily got by him right there. And then we go down to the lake bed, and I knew it was dusty as hell, and he couldn't see anything, so he couldn't go any faster than I could.
Dude, well, you got it. Like, you literally have to take advantage wherever you can. Well, I guess this is also in the UTV class too, but like, I can only imagine in 4400, if you get a centimeter, you're going to take a mile.
Oh, absolutely. And UTV race is no joke, man. Like, it is a full-on sprint. Like, all the top guys are going to be going as hard as they possibly can. And the guy that doesn't have any issues, had the best track position at the start of the race is going to, it's not like it used to be where you could make up a ton of time on guys just going faster. Like, everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, like Kyle had a really good strategy, right? Like him and Scottie said, if we get to the rocks first, we have a really good opportunity to win. Like, I mean, to me, that's already your strategy right there, just as long as you can do that. But everybody else doesn't have that opportunity.
No, that's absolutely right. I mean, I like to say I could have given him a run if I didn't have my issues, of course, but everybody wants to say that, everybody was winning until they weren't. So Kyle has kicked ass out there the last years, that's for sure. I mean, he's got the place figured out.
Well, yeah, he's got it figured out more than anybody. He knows how to drive a car where it runs over him and it's his own car. I mean, like, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to put in park, but like putting your shoes on and forgetting to tie them.
I'll send you that clip, George. We have a great shot of it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on over the story that we create for Instagram. So it sounds like we've already got. We can stop the show right here, Hunter. We're good. Like, we're just gonna bail out. We got the clip. So, yeah, dude. Honestly, man, it was good seeing you out there. I think you should throw a shout out to Chris for bringing some vitamin C out there, hooking you up. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, he did. Because when we first got there, like Cody and Cody Taylor both got sick again, not feeling good. Everybody had like a throat thing going, and then it seemed like one by one, everybody started feeling like crap for a couple days. But man, I swear, I thought it was you that brought me vitamin.
I did, but Chris brought him to the track because I had already passed the store.
Did you do
Yeah.
the Dayquil too, or just the what did I
Oh.
get? Dayquil or NyQuil? I can't remember.
No, we took it all. And Brianna had already loaded me
Listen,
a ton of stuff.
next year you're gonna put that La Cucaracha air horn on the car. Just throw everybody off. It'll be a breeze. You'll be top of the box, no problem.
Yep.
You said you were sending it to me, but it never showed up.
Don't worry, it's coming. It'll be there soon.
I may or may not have got the delivery confirmation from Chris as well. So.
Yeah.
Hey, but on a real level, dude, like the amount of work that you guys put in is wild. Like it's mind blowing, and to see that you guys had come out with success, and obviously Can-Am with Kyle and everybody, like you guys, not to blow Can-Am, but like there was black and yellow everywhere, right? Like it was everywhere. So it was really cool to see that all of your guys' hard work was paying off. Like it's pretty amazing, honestly.
Oh, dude. I mean, everybody that comes to this race works hard. Like, just surviving out there for the entire 2 weeks is hard work. So everybody's putting in a lot of effort. But, yeah, Can-Am invest a lot into this race. They invest a lot into us to perform at this race. And we take it, as serious as you possibly can. You know, we started getting ready for this year's March. And we were still finishing things up as we're loading up to leave out there, you know. I mean, the amount of effort it takes to win that race is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's wild, right? Well, and now you got that much more fire under you to go beat Kyle too. Hey, let's talk about Dustin.
I beat him at everything else, so you know I need to add that one.
We're going to bring Dustin Jones on in a little bit here, but before we let you go, we asked Kyle and Scottie these same kinds of things, but Ben Fournier was cooking most of your guys' food. He was actually house chef that whole week or 2 weeks, whatever it was. What was their favorite meal that he prepared for you guys?
Favorite one?
Dude, because he had some fire meals prepared.
Yeah, his chili was off the chain. I remember the night he served that, it was really cold too, so it spot. Like everything he served was like full on comfort food, so I didn't have a bad.
Dude, I can only imagine being stuck in a motorhome and having their whole crew eat chili.
Yeah. The sleeping quarters get a little tight there.
That's pretty cool. And then was there anything interesting that happened aside from the racetrack that you guys had some fun or anything?
Ultra 3.
The three-wheeler thing?
Yeah.
You guys entered that?
No, well, Cody hopped on somebody's over there, and then Blake Wilkie ran him off the berm because Cody's going so slow.
So were people dicing against each other, or was it just like single people at the same time? Dustin Battle Axe Jones, what's up?
What's up, my man? How are you?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
We're talking about the three-wheeler racing out at KOH. Did you partake?
Oh, bro, I'm the one that put Cody on the three-wheeler. I'm the one that talked my man into running it.
So was it pretty cool to see everybody out there? Because it looked kind of crazy, dude. That's a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah, I've already been on Facebook Marketplace looking for me and Hunter some new 70s to build. So we're sponsoring the Miller Brothers next year on Ultra 3.
Dude,
Chopping the front of the DS90.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's build one of those. We'll chop it into a three-wheeler, and we'll put one of them Animal 190 motors on it.
Yes.
Dude, that's perfect. And Chris will sponsor your air horns for the front of those things as well.
You'd laugh. Like my buddy Corey has one of those things that's got one of those Piranha 190s in it, and it's stretched like 6 inches and all this stuff. And that is a death trap.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean death trap. It's the most dangerous thing you could possibly get on.
That's the things that I'm trying to ride. That's what I want to ride. So let's build a couple of those for next year and bring them with us.
All right, Hunter. Hey, we can let you go. I know you're sitting at the end of the road, but hey, I appreciate you having better cell phone coverage this time, dude. And yeah, on all seriousness, congrats at all your success at KOH, dude. You guys rocked.
I appreciate it.
My man got Cricket Mobile sitting at the end of his driveway.
He's got a ring light too.
Oh
yeah.
my. Yeah.
What, you aren't prepared like me? At least I'm not like Kyle sitting in pitch black dungeon.
Yeah, he didn't look creepy at all.
I'm sitting here on my couch in my underwear watching BattleBots right now.
Well, you live in civilization where you have internet.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Dude, oh,
if you
check
want to
this
call
out. So,
Shreveport civilization.
X3 Night Rider just said they got a couple of them out there in Oregon that have 240cc motors in them. Talk
Then
about
show up.
Dude.
Show up, dude. Show up.
Holy smoke! Could you imagine? That would be serious. Like, I would wear a full like football outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're
I'd be
wrapping up
wearing
we're wrapping in bubble wrap for next year's race for sure.
Hey, so yeah, all right. Thanks, Hunter. I really appreciate it, man.
Have a good one. Later.
Dustin, so we've been talking to everybody. Hey, first, real quick, you guys have been having some serious fun with Can-Am. Can-Am's bringing the show, so talk about a little bit of stuff that's happened over the past couple of days.
Yeah, man, I literally just got back to house just a couple hours ago. They just released a whole new line of ATVs, like new body style, new engine package, and all that. They're going after like the mid-cc ATV market. But still, man, to go up there and be a part of the unveil and see these vehicles before they're launched, man, it's cool to do that. It makes you feel cool to be a part of Can-Am and them invite you to do that. So we were taking dealers for rides. We were taking doing demo things out at like big park in Houston. And so, man, it was a cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, we talked about it just as a joke when we were at the Maxxis taco party at KOH. Like, the best sponsors are the ones that buy you tacos. But seriously, like, having good partners, being able to go do that stuff, like on the sidelines and ride the quads and do all these dealers, it's just so much fun, man, because it takes you out of the racing element that you're so used to.
Yeah, to me, they're to be associated with sponsors like Maxxis, where they get us all together for a night to hang out and together and everything. And so that's a big deal to me, man. Not just like, hey, we support the program, here's some product or here's some cash to do with the entry fees, but like, let's get together, man. And that's a big part of what I search for sponsors, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we got a couple of people actually saying that your phone's echoing quite a bit. You want to jump off and jump back on real quick?
Yeah, I'll try to dump.
All right. So yeah, Chris, when Dustin and those guys talk about like Hunter and them talk about the difference in tires when they're going through all the rocks and stuff. Like, I have never ever experienced any of that, but I would think like that big footprint makes it so it's so much smoother.
Yeah, I mean, same thing in mountain bikes. I mean, that's why everyone runs a 29 front. You see that kind of mullet set up on a lot of the e-bikes now. The bigger circle rolls over bigger bumps more simply. I mean, it's really no more complex than that.
Yeah, we're talking science now, right? Yeah. All right, so we'll get Dustin, dude. So we had I'm looking at the results sheet here, and we kind of had a question for Hunter, and you might answer it the same way, but it looks like you came home fourth in the UTV class. You drove a Pro Mod UTV, and it was roughly about 16 minutes behind the leader. Now, when I hear that, like I was telling Hunter, I was like, man, it seems like such a long time. But at a race like this, dude, that's like split seconds. Like, that's like something little happening. So give us a little bit of a breakdown on the race for what you guys had.
Yeah, you know, racing is tough, and like testing and preparing. I can kind of hear my echo. Is it still echoing pretty bad?
Yeah, it kind of seems like it is. I'm not sure.
It must be something on your end.
Maybe. I haven't had anybody else echo other than Hunter. Seems like
yeah. Hunter was echoing pretty good.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's better now.
Test.
Yeah, that seems good.
Gosh, dog it. So it was on your end.
No, I didn't touch anything. I just pretended.
Oh, geez. So, yeah. 16 minutes on a race like Hammer, especially the 90-mile desert loop, and then whatever the 40, 50-mile rock. Going to lose that real quick in the rocks, that's for sure. Is it still echoing?
I don't know. I can't really hear the echo. I hear like a bog from the speaker, but
somebody said that's better.
Yeah, should we
battle accent like Michael Jackson?
I mean, that's actually a pretty good compliment right there.
I know, right? We can keep trying though.
Yeah, I think we should just keep going. But yeah, so what Hunter was saying that they had a couple issues, like where the car kind of shut off. I don't know if it went into limp mode or what exactly he was saying, but what was some of the BMF guys are saying the echo's bad too. Fuck.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of any of this stuff. I mean, like, it's simple for me. I just got the microphone plugged in and that's it. So I don't know what else to do.
I'm gonna try to put some something. I'll put some.
Okay. Back. Cool. So Dustin's going to try to put some earplugs or earphones in real quick and see what he can do. Let's talk a little bit more about that that three-wheeler. Oh, here we go. So, Chris, we were talking about the three-wheelers. Let's see here. X3 Night Rider just sent this in. Dude, check out that bad boy. The wheelie bar.
That's real?
Apparently. Maybe you could give us a little bit. So 240 cc's he said he's got on that bad boy.
Ooh. What's that do in a quarter mile?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That thing is wild, dude. So, well, thanks for sharing the photo, man. That thing is crazy.
Holy fuck.
Dustin's going to try to see if he can put in some AirPods and come back. Man, so when I go through and I look at all of the results of the UTV class, I want to see how many people actually entered. So 107 people were entered in the UTV class, dude. That's wild.
How many finished this year? I didn't look.
Let me look through it here while Dustin comes on. I'll look and check and see. But I would assume less than half, right? Dustin, what up?
What's up, man?
Oh, my God. That's so much better.
Is it better?
Yeah, way better.
All right, we'll take it.
All right. So let's see here. 107 people, dude, were out on course with you in the UTV class, and it looks like 46 came across the line.
Yeah, that's less than 50%.
I mean, that's still like, let me get your opinion. Is that a good attrition rate?
Man, for a race like that, I think so. It's Dave Cole's job and his goal to make that near impossible race. And when it's 50% attrition rate, it weeds out people that are just there to get wild and drive as hard as they can. And it really differentiates drivers from people that just like to go fast, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point, though, too, like to bring up is like the UTV market has obviously offered itself up so that other people like that may or may not have good or bad skills, whatever, can go out there and do it. But the vehicles are so capable. Like, dude, 5 years ago, there's no freaking way it would have been 50% of and 107 dudes entered. That's insane cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like in 18, I think like it was around 100 entries and like 12 finished or 8, something like that.
Oh, no shit. So it's way different.
Yeah,
now.
It's way, way different.
Dude, how was it driving that stock car in the desert race, Dustin?
Oh, well, I was running my regular desert car in the desert race. So
which one did you run the other car, the stock car or whatever it was?
Well, first of all, we weren't even supposed to race the desert race. We just had to race it because Best in the Desert set that up. And so Ultra 4, King of the Hammers, and Best in the Desert said we needed to sign up in the stock production class, which was supposed to be pro production. So we signed up where Best in the Desert and Ultra 4 told us to. Unknowingly, a lot of the other guys were going to sign up in a mod class. So, I don't know. There was a bunch of confusion. We weren't really there to race the desert race. We just had to try to keep points. So we were signed up in a production/stock class.
Oh, I got you. Oh, yeah, and so you are competing with in Best in the Desert. Are you like you're not going to go this weekend, obviously, since they canceled the race? When's the next desert race for you guys?
We've got the Mint 400 in 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah,
3 weeks?
That's going to be wild too. Hey, I got to check out the course. It's pretty sick.
Is it?
Yeah, it's cool. I think you guys are going to have a good time this year. I think you're going to be pretty tired at the end, though.
Yeah, that's good. I like a good rough race like that, man. I like King of the Hammers. I like the Mint. Any rough race like that, I like.
Hey, so speaking of King of the Hammers and like the difference between some of those other races, like I mean, it's rocks, right? But like, so what's the plan? Like your crew and everything that goes on, like, do you keep the same logistical structure? Do you change everything with the car? Like, how does it differ? Because this is one event that is so much different than all the other races.
I mean, overall, it's a big undertaking, especially to try to go out there and do well. And so it's a lot of pre-running, a lot of time out there. The volunteers have to take off work for extended periods of time. So the whole thing, man, is really tough to do in comparison to like a Best in Desert where we get no pre-running. We just show up and race.
Yeah, exactly. That's a wild that it just amazes me the amount of effort that you guys put in every year. It's pretty cool, though. What was your favorite meal that you guys had on the lake bed? Because you guys were out there for a long time without no crawfish.
Bro, when Maxxis hosted that taco dinner, I think that was the best meal we had, because we were there for one thing, and we were pre-running daylight till dark, besides showing up for qualifying, showing up for tech and contingency.
Yep.
And so the boys ate ramen and bologna sandwiches while they were out there working.
Dude, I can only imagine. Yeah, because everybody's so busy the whole time. It's weird, too, because everybody's like, yeah, we're just out on the lake bed. Yeah, like you weren't chilling.
No, we were living off of Uncrustables, man, and snack packs, And
dude,
so
it was pretty cool. That Maxxis taco party was fun, too, because you and I got to take a picture with the king, dude.
Man, I know. It was going off. It was a good time for sure.
Well, hey, let me get one final question out of you for real quick before you got to go. I know you're tired from traveling so much. What was one of the wildest things that happened out there during those 2 or 3 weeks?
Man, I guess there's always some crazy stuff that happens around us. We flipped the car a couple of times. So
when was that?
Man, while we were pre-running, we ended up flipping pretty good, and then the post-race interview where I described blowing my backbone out my butthole, that legitimately happened during the race.
Where at?
Well, coming back in, there's so many lines through the desert, and my problem is, like, I'll get on a pretty good line, but I'm always like, wait, that line looks better. Let's go over there. Yep. And so we changed directions and caught a big wash in the middle and literally went frame to the ground because it was a big high ridge that we were crossing over. Dude, we went frame to the ground on the backside of a wash, and Jesus, we came to almost a dead stop, dude.
Dude, those are those ones that are all white and you can't see the shadow in the different part, and you just smack it and you're like, oh, God. And you always hit the throttle at the last minute like you're going to preload over it, but you're in a UTV and it doesn't happen.
Never happening. It went frame to the ground, dude, and we kissed our own belt buckles.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Fisher Motor Company actually reminded of something that I wanted to commend you on was pushing his boys across the finish line. That was pretty epic, man. So can you give us a rundown? Like, were you already across the finish line and then you saw Hunter having some issues and you guys got out there and just helped him?
Yeah, man. We had just rolled through a little while before them, and we were actually staged up to roll up on the podium. And somebody just said to me, like, man, Hunter's broke, and I heard a couple of people saying like, oh, dude, I don't think they're going to make it. And so I spun around, and when I did, they're pushing the car, and they're just right over the berm from us. And so I immediately asked the officials, like, can anybody help them? And they're like, no outside help can be given, but racers can help racers.
Oh, really?
So I was like, yeah. So I was like, man, let's freaking go. So I told Dustin Henderson, my co-driver, like, get out, bro. Let's start pushing. And we did.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, X3 Night Rider said that he got to watch that from the Ultra 4 trailer. Dude, I can't commend you enough, man. Yeah, leave no man behind. That's super cool, dude, that you guys did that. And I really, like, that's always the camaraderie that I think is so cool about racing and off-road racing in general. Like, you really do leave no man behind. Like, if somebody was struggling out there, you guys would have got out of your car. You would have helped. You guys would have did whatever. It's just bitching.
Man, it's almost like that's what we're meant to do out of King and Hammers because, a couple of years ago when we broke on Chocolate Thunder, we spent all afternoon getting cars up Chocolate Thunder. There was a long on the live feed of me and Dustin pulling winch lines, stacking rocks for cars, and, like, just keeping everybody going. And then last year, Cody Miller flipped coming down Aftershock, I believe. I think it was Aftershock or Spooners. He flipped his car, and so I spun around and pulled him over, gave up some positions, and helped him get going. And this year, helped Hunter get across. So it's almost like it's not King of the Hammers unless we're helping the Millers get their cars back across the line.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, and then I don't know how to say Gabe Achode said that was the best thing that he had ever seen in racing. Man, that was awesome just to see, dude. Hey, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're tired. You've been traveling, doing all that stuff. Do you want to give a shout-out to anybody before we let you go?
Yeah, man, Maxxis tires, dude. I always tell people them things are like lizard fingers in the rocks. They be gripping and grabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the guys, man, that sacrificed with us that whole week. So that was a tough thing to do. And then Vito. I always like giving a shout out to Vito because I like racing against my man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Vito? Thanks, Dustin. We'll see you later, buddy.
All right, my man.
Good, man.
Vito, dude, what's happening, buddy?
No, just still working, man. Still working. Just jumped on the show.
Dude, well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no sleep for the no rest for the wicked, right?
Oh, I know. No, unfortunately not.
Hey, so I was talking to a couple other people actually at the race about like what you guys were doing out there. Was this your first KOH?
Last year was our first year running it, and we ended up breaking like a worse spot out like farthest away to be from main pit, and
Dude, never fails, right?
no, and it was the craziest thing. We that morning I woke up and I started feeling terrible. We did the prologue. I came in from the prologue. I'm telling the guys, I'm like, man, I am freezing. My toes are freezing. I got to put like another pair of socks on, some clothes. And then right when I got out there, I went like full blooded cold sweats in the car.
Dang.
So I was feeling terrible out there. And we ended up breaking a root failing, and I was just like, on one hand, I was like, oh, thank you. But the bad part was we were probably running second or third at the time, and we ended up being F.
Oh man, so you were definitely out for a vengeance this year, huh?
Yeah. No, me and my team really set out this year to win a couple races. We want to win them all, but two of them that we really wanted to win was this one and the Mint.
Yeah, well, the Mint's coming up pretty soon too. But since this is the KOH recap, let's give everybody a little bit of a breakdown of your race. So you were on new tires too, huh?
Yep. Partnered up with Maxxis, the new Raider T, which performed awesome.
Yeah, so that's actually a good thing, a good point to bring up. So you did the desert race this year, and most of the guys were running the Rockzillas out in the rocks, but you chose the Razor tire to run out in the desert, which I think is a solid choice. That tire is really progressive and predictable. I love that thing.
Yeah, no, I pre-ran about 300 miles on it. Didn't have any issues, and then it was amazing though the cornering that tire has. The rounded corners. I was a little bit worried about having a little more rounded corners, but that car, it didn't skate at all. It just even the soft sand and the hard pack, it works so well out there. And then even putting 250 miles on them, it still looked like they're new at the end. Tons of tread, just super stoked that we move up.
Yeah, man. Well, give us a little bit of a breakdown. I'm going to look and see if I can figure out some of this audio stuff because everybody keeps saying it's echoing. I don't know if Chris is still echoing or not, but I can't hear any of the echo on my end. So let me look and see if I can fix it. But Vito, give us a breakdown of the race a little bit and tell us how it went.
Oh yeah, so we did our prologue. What was that on Saturday? I think in class we set fast prologue in class. We started the race next to Cameron Steele, which was awesome. We got to jump on him, and then he took the alternative line, and he beat us back. We're around the mountain, so I was like, man, he picked a better line. So I was kind of bummed, and we were right on him for like that whole stretch before we went to Heartbreak Ridge, and we were right on his tail, and my co-driver was like, "Oh, let's give him a little bump." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's camera still. You know what I mean? Like, thinking like, he's a solid racer, right? He's the OG of racing. So, the coolest thing was he ended up giving us away. He gave us away a couple miles in, and he took off, and we ran 100%. The whole time, and I'm not sure where we ran through the whole race, but on the overall, and Stims was behind us, and then we had some belt issues, which started slipping on us, like on lap 2, like I don't know, 10 miles in, and so me and my co-driver Joey Olson, we decided, man, it's like, let's just pull over. Let's just get this butt out of the way before this blows on us or have an issue. And he jumped out. Nailed it. Like just over 2 minutes, right? Out of the car, belt came back in the car. And at that time, he got around us. And then we never saw him again. We were pushing hard, but we kind of backed up a little bit because I only had one spare belt in the car, and it was on the car now. So we were kind of like still had like 80 miles of belt, no spare belt. So we still had enough to conquer, the win for our class, which was super cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's a feat in itself, right? All right, so whoever actually told us, Shannon Schultz, let me know if the audio is still good or not. I changed one setting on the deck, so hopefully that helps out a little bit. But let us know if the audio is a little bit better for Vito and for Chris. Man, that's a feat in itself. Like, did you ever think that KOH was going to have so much racing, dude? Because that was a pretty badass week.
Yeah, it was. I left right after the desert race. Had to get back to the family and work, but man, it was crazy. It was just even the people before all the rock race started during the desert race, and there was so many people out there. I had a couple new guys that never been out there before, and they were just blown away. Like I was like, if you've never been to Hammers, you just got to go check this out just to see like all the chaos out there. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. Does that mean that you're going to try the rock race?
Man, I don't know. I've just really been focusing on my desert program, and really trying to progress. Out there with there's a ton of great talent that we have to race against. So for me, I've got my son. He races 170. He races sprint cars. So I'm like a full-time mechanic on those cars, and I'm trying to prep my car. So
yeah, there's a lot going on.
A lot, yeah. I mean, he races like I forget. I think this season there's like 25 or 6 races slated, and I have my 8 or 9 races slated, So I would love to do the rock race. I don't want to do it unless I can go out there and have a chance to win,
Yeah, dude. Chris, we've been talking about the racer mentality a lot. Like Hunter and Kyle are like, dude, I'm going to go out there and win. Like they got a fire lit under them. Vito's the same way. Oh, it looks like we might have lost Chris. So what was one of the best parts about the whole race, Vito? Other than lining up next to your boy Cameron.
Oh, man. Man, like I said, I only raced one time before. I just love that racing. I love all the accidents going on out there, all the amount of the pre-running, the people, you get to see all your sponsors out there and the camping side of it. It's just a great camaraderie out there. The course in general, I mean, there's so much change in course out there between, big whoops and rock sections, open lake beds. It's just, it's such a diverse race, it makes it a lot of fun.
I actually heard a lot of people say that the desert course was rad this year.
It was super rad. I mean, the prologue, my co-driver, he pushes me out there hard, and hats off to him, because if I was in the passenger seat, I don't think I'd be pushing my driver that hard. So, man, we ran so hard in that prologue. And you see all these videos, and they really do justice, like how bad those whoops were and how flat faced they were. And the kickers out there and stuff. I mean, it was a fun course, but it was brutal.
Yeah, dude. It seemed like it was, but it seemed like it was cool though too, right? Like, and how did you feel about the level of competition?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we had a lot of the great racers, even guys from back east that came out, guys we never get to race with, and that's the desert. I love to see more guys out there. I love to see, 60, 70, 80 car field, but I think we had a fair amount of talent, to beat against.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think there was a lot of people out there, man, but you got to remember too that a lot of those guys, maybe don't have the budget to race, 2 classes or whatever. Like there was a lot of people. I think we looked at the results for the rock race. There was like 107 people entered. So to do both would be pretty crazy. I mean, like what the Miller brothers did, Kyle Chaney, like a bunch of people that were doing both of the races. Like that's gnarly, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, I see firsthand the amount of effort that Phil puts in his program, for the rock race and the race, and man, I just don't have that time to do both of them.
Yeah, got to work a lot and support the kids racing programs too, man. It's all about the kids.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the future of it, right? So, I'm very fortunate that my son has a passion for. We share the same passion, which is awesome,
Yeah, totally. Does he give dad some tips, like tell you what to do?
Oh, he tried to, show me his trophies. Like, oh, look how many I have,
Nice.
And we're racing, and I'm trying to teach him some different lines and stuff like that. And he doesn't want to listen. He tries to tell me, I'm like, hey, bud, the day you beat me is the day I listen to you. So, yeah, I'm not listening. You listen to me.
Chris, could you imagine that conversation going down with your kids?
Yeah, it's already started. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like negotiating with the devil, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's vehicles stuck in a tree and kids trying to tell me he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Nah, Dad, pin it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the KOH stuff definitely is. If someone's listening that hasn't been to it, a racer, I mean, and I definitely put that on your list of run. Sure. I mean, it is awesome. Except the dust. I mean, it seems like you live in a dust cloud out there the whole time.
Dude, it was gnarly, man. I like coming back. Like, I actually got an IV a couple days ago because I was still feeling like shit. I was like, man, I better just like juice up because, dude, it tore me down pretty good.
Like in between our prologue and the race, we tore that car down, changed all kinds of stuff in it, right? Just anything that we didn't feel comfortable with, part wise. And I'm sitting out there with my guys, and they're tearing through it all. And I cannot stop sneezing. I'm like, guys, I'll go back in the motor room. Put it back together. You know what I mean?
I gotta make sure that I don't get sick.
Yeah, I got to race in the morning. I just can't breathe. So
totally.
Luckily, I have a pretty awesome crew. I mean, same guys, same crew. They share the same passion, and dedication. So.
Hey, we had a comment come in from somebody named Ashley that you might know that said Alex is laughing right now. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, man, it was good to see you out there because I didn't actually get to see really any of the desert race last year, so it was actually pretty rad to kind of catch up with everybody. What was some of your favorite parts that about KOH that wasn't on the track?
Well, I definitely enjoyed the taco dinner from Maxxis. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool deal. Man, something for me, I pre-ran from sun up to sundown, and when I got back to camp, we're going through all our notes and I personally, I didn't get to go explore KOH. I stayed so focused in my race, so I mean, when we pre-run, we go out there, do all our notes through, we did it all through, voice recording, and then we get back, and then my co-driver's punching me, and then we're looking at them, talking about them, and man, hit the bed and we're back at it first out,
Dude, that's the typical racer, though, man. I always tell everybody, I love racing, but I always tell everybody, man, it's so nice to just be able to hang out and to do some of the fun stuff because you're not so focused on your race program. But that's another reason why I admire guys like you and all the guys that we've talked to on the show today is because there's so much dedication that comes not just in fixing your cars, not just in prep and stuff, but like you're literally in your mind thinking about the race 110% of the time that you're awake. It's so wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, just I'm an early bird, so I like waking up early in the morning, and before pre-run, I'd pull my pre-run up that Joey put in, and I'd be looking at all his notes, and I'd be looking at all the corners, and making sure I'm fully grasping it all. And I try to remember, like why we took that note, and we're very fortunate that we've had such great success over the last 2 seasons, right? I mean, we've done well, but I'm not sure people really understand the amount of effort, it takes to get there.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy, right? Like, I don't know, Willette Racing just logged in. I was just gonna put this hat. I don't know if that's you guys or not, but we're IMG Motorsports. But anyways, I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of off subject right now, but this is a perfect time to say it. Like the mentality that you just talked about and the dedication that you guys have, and what I just said about thinking about this stuff and really going through the process. I wish that people worked at their normal desk jobs had the same passion that most of these racer guys have, because the whole world would be a better place.
Oh. Yeah, tell me about it.
Dude, it would be so much better, right? Because it's just like that level of intensity that most racers have, dude. Like, well, say, so do you really want to do the rocks? Like, I want to see you get out there and do the rocks, dude. I want to see some, like, serious battle from all you got Can-Am dudes.
I mean, I would love to do it. I just don't know how to find the time to build a car and get out there and, and run it and learn that side of it. Never.
Vito's got a need for speed.
Yeah, he does.
He just needs speed. He doesn't need rocks. He needs speed.
I tell everybody, I mean, I go out there and if you beat me, straight up, you beat me. I mean, I won't leave anything on the line. I mean, people always make excuses. Oh, I had this problem. I had that. I didn't do good. No, look, you beat me. I mean, I'll gnaw my arm off the car. You know what I mean? I don't care. Whatever.
Hey, Olson said starting his diet tomorrow.
Yeah, just for KOH. I mean, I didn't need to, but I just felt like to get in the right mindset, I went and dropped 20 pounds for the race, just to get the mindset to get focused on being determined and conquering things.
Dude, you have to now, because our next guest, Phil Blurton, I mean, him and Beau Judge are on a full training program, man. You got to step up, right?
Oh, yeah. Good old Phil.
Ashley Ranuio says, Joey, there will be a scale in the moho. you weigh 1 pound over, you can't fight. Dude, that would be so funny. If there was rate restrictions, man, and then if you don't go under, like I used to tell everybody at the short course races, like, because we used to have to weigh up, right? Our cars were built really lightweight, and I was like, dude, I might have to eat a couple donuts today or put some more fuel in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's that important as a desert, but for me, it's more just a mental thing, just put me in the right state of mind, just.
Well, yeah, totally, because then you're prepared, and then you're ready for battle. Like, I love that, dude. That's a total racer mentality. If you could have done one thing, I mean, you didn't really have to do very much better this year, but if you could have done one thing better this year, what would you have criticized yourself for?
Man, I'd probably say
every racer does this, man. On the debrief, you say, I could have done this better. I could have done this better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I got there, I mean, I don't leave anything on the line. I feel like if I start getting any problems, or if I start hearing anything, or like the belt thing, it doesn't mess with me. But at that point, I go in a mode where I don't want a DNF, right? So maybe I have to back it down a little bit. You know what I mean? And, I had the belt slipping problem. Am I having a with my clutch, right? Let's say, right? Like, should I take care of it a little bit more? And the guys I'm racing with, I mean, I just don't think that works. I mean, if you're not running that whole time, you're not winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just like I said before, it's like almost winter WOD these days, right? It's just crazy how fast and how high paced these races are, and these programs that people run are.
Yeah, and people say, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, fine, it is a race. And, oh, hey, what do you race the trucks? I'm like, no, I race UTVs. Oh, those are cool. I'm like, you have no idea how bad these X3s are now, right? I mean, dude, we're hitting stuff crazy. I mean, it's crazy the stuff we hit with these things, right? And what they soak up. I mean, they're an awesome little machine. I mean, in the prologue, I think our time off the trophy trucks off a 40-mile lap, I mean, look how big those trucks are, right? And I think we were like, 3 minutes or 4 minutes off of them? I mean, I know that's not a lot of time. 1,000 horsepower truck with 42-inch tires, right? And we got these little 240 or 215 horse engines, right? 23 to the travel.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy how badass UTVs have gotten. I mean, there's no discounting a trophy truck. I mean, a trophy truck is just a badass machine no matter what. But, like, it is pretty cool, man. And just to think about, like, aside from the desert race, like the rocks, like, being able to go through the rocks like that is just wild to me. Like, I don't know, 10 years ago in the Rhino, there's no way you could have made it up any of that shit.
I know, people, still kind of throw out the whole golf cart thing, right? Like, oh, they're just golf carts. I'm like, yeah. I've never in a golf cart as badass as these things, but
yeah, Maxxis has got a pretty
it's
good.
not done.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're rolling 37s and stuff now. So
yeah, Maxxis is making 37-inch golf cart tires now. What a good golf cart market for Maxxis. Hey, Vito,
That's
so
right.
what was two last questions, the same ones I asked everybody else. What was the favorite meal that you guys ate on the lake bed?
Yeah, so I think I've told you guys before, and one of the big things I like to do for my guys is I like to we always eat a steak dinner before our race, and so I try to do something special. So this time I did I think it was like 40-day age. I aged out a prime rib, and staked it out. So all my guys ate like dry aged beef. It's dry aged beef and seasoned salad and bread. That's our staple before every race.
Dude, that's the King's dinner right there, man.
Yeah. Big thanks. Maybe it's not the best thing, but just trying to show our appreciation to my guys. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, so Chris, I don't know if you're on the same page as me here, but so Dustin Jones said that his guys were eating bologna sandwiches and Uncrustables, and Vito's over here eating King's dinners. I wonder which team we're going to lean towards.
Well, we'll definitely mark that down on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, so Vito, the final question is,
quick, Jock's talking about our dinners at Vegas to Reno. That was another race that we won, and it's been a joke because I came totally prepared, right? Had everything, the barbecue, everything. We're sitting out back of Prim Valley, barbecuing in the parking lot. I'm like, everything's all done. I'm like, grab the plates. I'm like, shit, I forgot plates.
Oh,
right. So one of my guys, Nick, he went over, believe it or not, by the dumpster and found a bunch of cardboard boxes and ripped them all up. And so we ate off cardboard.
Yes.
Can, right? Like, and so that was a joke that like, who brought the cardboard plates? So.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Just bring Amazon boxes like to the track next time and just start serving that like standard.
Yeah, and what the funniest thing was that actually at King of Hammers, Joey, he did the same. He was my same co-driver at Reno when we ate off the cardboard. So he went over to his trailer and ripped up a cardboard box and served himself on a cardboard box.
Yeah, I like his style.
As his tradition.
Yeah. Dude, maybe that's the winning combo right there. You got to do it like you put on your left sock first, your right sock second. Like maybe it's just eating off cardboard plates the night before.
Don't tempt fate.
I'll eat off the ground. I'll eat off the ground if I can win. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Just crunching the dirt. Hey, so last question is, did anything else wild happen or funny happen, like while you guys were out on the lake bed? Because, dude, there's so much crazy stuff that happens out there.
I'm trying to think.
Did the kids go with you?
No. Unfortunately, my family couldn't make it out. But, man, I'm trying to... Honestly, I mean, nothing really crazy happened for us out there. I mean, on the course, I mean, we took a bone shocker like Dustin was talking about, and that was about the craziest thing. There's a couple times we hit those big flat-faced whoops out there and stood up on his nose, where kind of makes you pucker there for a minute. But we had a clean time out there, and everything's cool. So.
Yeah, it seems like it would have been fun, man. When you didn't take the 6x6 out, your crew didn't take the 6x6 out all hydrated like Scottie Lawrence's guys, huh?
No.
All right. Hey, thanks, homie. I appreciate it. We're going to get Phil Blurton on here in a little bit, and then Beau Judge, too. So, hey, congratulations, dude. You kicked ass out there.
All right, man. Thank you. We'll talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Right, later,
Congrats, Vito. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
It's so cool to hear this, Chris. Like, we'll wait until Beau and Phil come on, but like just to hear how much fun everybody had and like how the difference in mental mindset or mentality that everybody has, but they all have that same underlying thing, right? They all like taking care of their crew. They all like having fun in the dirt, and they all like winning.
There's right. Well, the winning, that's the reason you do those other things.
Yeah, exactly.
You take care of your crew. You know, you can't win alone. So
what you're saying is we got to eat steak and lobsters.
Well, we're gonna have to help someone probably to earn it, but.
All right, so let me see if I can get Phil and Beau on here real quick. All right, so we'll send out the invite to Phil real quick, and then see if Beau's on.
I will say I haven't seen that place that hopping on what used to be opening weekend.
Oh, at KOH. Phil Blurton, what's up, dude? How are you?
There he is.
Oh, good. How about you guys?
Dude, we're doing awesome,
Good.
man. Hey, so KOH Recap's been going pretty good. Beau Judge, what's up?
What's going on?
How are you guys, man?
Good.
So KOH has been like the recap has been pretty awesome so far. Like I've learned a whole bunch of fun stuff, including that a 6x6 of Scottie Lawrence's and Kyle Chaney's was taken out while everybody was hydrated, and they may or may not have forgot to fill it with gas. Those poor guys. You guys have any funny stories before we get into the race?
Oh man, I don't know. Hammers kind of blew by this year. What do you think, Beau? There was nothing really too crazy that happened.
Yeah, not really. We're always kind of like low key in our pit, I guess. I don't know. I guess the funniest thing that happened to us was when we were out pre-running the desert section. We stopped at the remote pit, and Donald Cerrone pulled up to us just to say hi and blew his diff basically all over our feet, and oil was pouring out all over. We had to stay out there for a couple hours, help him out and get him a new front diff so he could make it back to his pit.
Hey, I gotta say, Chris, like if you're gonna blow your front differential out in front of everybody, why not some dudes that can help you?
Yeah, it's a smart move. I mean, the guy, you know,
he's tactical.
Yeah,
we had a chase truck out. We had a chase truck out there too, and I told one of the guys at the shop that was driving the chase truck, I'm like, "Hey, stay here and change the diff for him." There wasn't actually a diff in that chase truck, so we had to send another one out from main pit out to him. So it kind of turned into our whole team working on it. But I don't know. You got to help everybody out there and make sure they can get their laps.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the whole camaraderie thing that we're talking about off-road. But, dude, talk about luck for a cowboy.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about the rock race mostly. Did you guys – what was your guys' favorite part about KOH?
I don't know. For me, it's always the rock race. This year was fun because Beau's never ridden with me in qualifying, and we just wanted to be extra safe this year and have him in the car in case possibly we had to winch, even though it was going to be a bad deal if you had to. And so Beau got to experience riding in qualifying, which was pretty fun for me.
Yeah, what's the difference? Is it because you go way harder or what?
It was the worst experience for me ever riding co-drive. Like, I trust him, and he's by far, you know, I wouldn't. He's always super good, but when you're in the desert, it's 80%. You know? But when you're qualifying, it's 110. I don't like 110% unless I'm behind the wheel. So I think I pretty much held my breath the entire time, and when we got back, everyone could tell like I was completely white and was like holding on like this. That was as much scaredest I'd ever qualifying.
Dude, that's crazy. Hey, real quick shout out to the La Bufadora food truck. They just logged on. We already talked about you guys today, but thank you very much for supplying all the tacos out of KOH. Hey, so when you're in a situation like that, Beau, can you calm him down, or is he just like, nope, we're locked on. The throttle is just engaged. We're going.
I don't want to calm down. Qualify number 1 too, so I'm just along for the ride, and it's like I don't want to do anything at that point. Like we have to go for it, and that's what has to be done. But it's not the best feeling, but I'll do it again.
I can honestly see the stress already just Beau thinking about it right then. Oh man. So we looked at the results here. I'm talking about the rock race now, and it looks like you guys came across the line second. Kyle got you guys by, it looks like, about 12 minutes or so. When I was talking to, who was it, Hunter, and he was saying that, like, little tiny mistakes add up to a lot of minutes there. So what was the difference with, like, could you guys have done anything different to make up those 12 minutes?
I'm sure there's lots of stuff we could have done, but that's how it laid out. But yeah, just like one flat tire that I really earned, like leaving like top of outer limits, and we have impact in like a bag. And when Beau pulled the impact out, typically I'll run full speed until he's like ready to get out of the car, and he pulled the impact, and the socket was not in the bag. So we have another tool bag like underneath the seat, so he pulled that out. We searched through there and we couldn't find the socket. So I ran all the way from outer limits to like halfway up King's Vito on a flat, which is a little bit of a ways. And, you know, there was a couple rock trails in between there. And then finally I'm like, dude, you got to get up. We got to change with a crescent wrench or something. Like, we can't run on this flat the rest of the time. And as soon as he went to sit up out of the car, like the spare tool bag, the socket was sitting like in his seat with him. No. So we lost a ton of time on that tire change, and that was about it. I mean, the rest of the day, I don't know. The rest of the day, I feel like everything went right to plan. Like, we winched on Sledgehammer, which, yeah, we lost a little bit of time there, but we ran that ledge on Sledgehammer a bunch of times. And one of the times we ran it, I rolled and like broke the shocks off the car, broke the drive shaft, and was upside down. And we just said, hey, let's just play it safe. Let's winch this one spot. So, I mean, the whole race, I don't know if Beau could say otherwise maybe, but I think the whole race went perfectly smooth for us.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. And I was going to say, too, like, for the parts that I watched, at least on the live stream and stuff, like, to me, it looked like I don't know what you want to call it, driving prowess or your skill set at KOH had elevated, like, to another level this year compared to how it was last year. Did you feel that way, too?
I don't know. Beau and I were in the car a bunch, and we just kept talking about it. And we knew we could run the pace. We were just always worried about breaking stuff. And this year it was kind of like, man, we've been like third place a couple times there. We've had a couple eights. It was just like, let's just drive it hard all day and see what happens. Like, we want to win hammers. You know, we've been enough times now. It's like, you only get so many chances to race it. Like, let's go there and just beat on it and see what happens. And I think this year we had two identical cars, 100%. So our pre-runner was 100% identical to our race car, which helped a lot, because like before we were pre-running in a non-boat sided car. This year we had the boat side. So like muscle memory, everything was identical the whole entire time.
Yeah, dude, that's actually really cool. Like, I love that coming from Moto, and you have a practice bike and a race bike, and they're set up the same. Like, I feel like that's such a cool thing to do. Hey, real quick, this guy's got the best Instagram name, Scottie Long and Shit. Is it true that Phil is late for everything except for to the finish line? That's probably for you to answer, Beau.
Sometimes he's late for that too, and it's like, come on, dude, the race is starting.
But the reason that I asked that question about the time gap between you and Kyle was mostly because I want to understand a little bit more about like the way that teams approach the racing and their logistical plan and how things happen, because you can't ever gauge everything that's going to happen in the race. There's so many different things that happen, right? And I just see the times tightening up. Like, we just looked and there was 107 drivers, and I think, what do we say, Chris, like 48 of them or something finished? Like, to me,
almost 50%. Yeah.
Yeah, like that right there is wild. And then the gap between the top 10 like has shrunk immensely. Like, the competition level is getting so insane. Like, does it seem like that to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the last 3 years.
Yeah, for us, for sure. I think when we first started doing this, like, there would be 80 entries or something, and 12 guys would finish.
Yeah.
You know? Where now it's just like we talk about all the time. Now this isn't. It's not like you're going for like a 10 race series and there's like a championship and play it safe and get second. It's like it's a one race, and we have to wait till next year to do it again. So 10 guys now, and I know there's a lot of other good guys too, but there's 10 guys that are going full speed the entire time. And if you don't do what they're going to do, they're going to smoke you. So we got to do. I honestly feel like this year, Phil and I's pace was faster than it's ever. But, you know, you just get caught every once in a while. You get that, you know, got second, but we got flat. And then when you're changing the flat, you get past somebody that you end up getting caught up behind in the machine, and that adds time to it. And it's just one of those things, like what Hunter was saying, things kind of start, once you have one problem, things kind of just start adding up to Scottie didn't have one single issue, and they just kind of cruised to the finish.
Yeah, dude, totally. But I also think, like, I don't know, being a racer, right? Like, you guys have learned so much over the past few years that you guys have gone to KOH. And like I mentioned before, I want to reiterate the fact is, like, both of you guys being in the car and, like, Phil, like, the way that you were moving through the rocks and the way that you were driving, to me, it looked like it was, like, elevated by, like, let's just say 30 or 40% than it was last year. Like the smoothness, the line choice, like all of these different things. I'm not a rock expert, but I saw all of these things just with my limited knowledge. Did it feel like you guys put in that work to get to that point?
Yeah, I think, like this was the first year. We've typically just always kind of ran like our package out there too. This is the first year we went down and spent time like in our Hammers race car and like kind of fine tuned a couple different changes on the shock package or being in the rocks. We changed some stuff on the steering a little bit to make the car more comfortable on the rocks and quicker. And really, like, I kind of came from a rock crawling background. I lived up by Rubicon and Fordyce, and I did like a bunch of trail wheeling, like in Toyota trucks and stuff back in the day. And I was kind of stuck in, and I did like Cal Rocks events where we would do like the cone dodging events, I call it. Everything was like really finesse in that. And I kind of always used that at Hammers, like tried to finesse a little too much. For finally this year, I was like, it just, in the UTV, it really needs to be momentum based. Like you got to one shot. Beau, not coming from a rock crawling background, kind of kept beating that in my head. Like, dude, we got to hit, everything's got to be momentum. I think it's easier on the car. So we just started like, we just went faster and it worked out smoother. I mean, the only downside with going a little faster is every once in a while one of those things catches you and spins the wheel. And Beau will be like, "Oh, damn, dude, you all right?" But it's,
That's actually true, Beau. How does that feel? Because I saw a bunch of different people. You guys did it a bunch of times too, I'm sure. Like when you get up on some of those edges and stuff, and the car just spins like a top and just goes like every different direction. That's got to be wild.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the times, I mean, like Phil was saying, it's like you start hitting stuff with momentum, and 9 times out of 10 it goes perfect the way you want it to, and then every once in a while you just hit something just right where it could literally take a 2,000-pound car, spin it around where you're, how are we going this way now? Like this was not the plan.
Pointing in a totally different directions.
Yeah.
So all these guys before, like Hunter and Kyle, said that they now have a fire under their ass to be able to do better next year. They both want to win the 4,400 class. You guys feel pretty amped up to do KOH next year too?
I always leave there wishing there was 2 King of the Hammers. I mean, that's like just Hammers alone, besides the racing, such a fun event. It's like you have all your friends and family all came. Like, how often are you with like your buddies 7 nights having dinner and cooking and pre-running every day, and my dad's going on rides. I don't know. I mean, Hammers is like the one race we just keep chasing and chasing and chasing. It's like, I know this year, like we on paper, we got first in the pro mod class, but it definitely feels like second. You know, Kyle earned it and beat us on time, but yeah, we want that first overall for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it'd be like winning one of those overalls. I mean, like Kyle is always pretty like mellow about what he talks about, but like, dude, that's got to feel so good because that's a legendary win right there.
Yeah, definitely. We've got no Hammers. We've got no Mint. Those are our 2 races to win. So we got one more chance at the Mint this year, and then Hammers, we got to wait till next year.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see you guys at the Mint this year. Hey, so did you guys race a new car this year then?
Yeah, brand new. Like we literally, when I left to go to Hammers, the car wasn't even done. We went down there and focused on the desert race, and Beau and I got in the race car probably, I don't know, what do you think, Beau? 30 minutes before qualifying was the first time we ever even started the car.
No way.
We're like, okay, let's go. We got to heat cycle the engine a little bit. So we drove over to qualifying to watch, and we get over there and they're like, "Hey, you guys need to go suit up and get back for qualifying." So we drove back, put our suits on, and went out there, and we literally drove that car maybe 5 minutes before qualifying.
Dude, not even a heat cycle through it, huh? That's crazy.
And then we qualified and we never drove it again, and we started at race morning. So
Dude, that's a testament to how these new platforms are, man. That's pretty cool. But you did have, like what you said, like the muscle memory on the pre-runner, right? 'Cause, like, so you kind of knew how at least it would feel.
Yeah, there's a couple. We built this car obviously leading right up to it. I built the cars myself in the shop, and there was a couple of changes I wanted to make on the car. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make the changes. I'm just going to build an exact replica of what we raced the year before, and I thought that was the best, and I still think it was, which helped in like wiring, plumbing, everything. Like I just literally took everything from that car and copied it.
Yeah, that's cool. And plus you kind of know, right? Like you got a little bit more of a baseline. Beau, like being a navigator like at KOH, like that's actually probably a really good thing because then you don't have to remember or know new stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. The car, I mean, he did give me a little more foot room.
Yeah,
on the passenger side that I was complaining about for the last 2 years. But yeah, that made it a lot better. But yeah, no, the car was perfect. It definitely, that's not why we got second, but no, everything was good and the car worked good. And like Phil was saying, we can't wait for next year.
Yeah, Chris, it's funny to see though, like you can see like both of them obviously want to take home a win and they're talking like true racers, like, you know, we got second or whatever. It's like, dude, like that's the winning mentality, right? Like I know you guys want that win, but dude,
Yeah.
like you guys will get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Forward progress, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's like not to be like, you know, you don't want to be like cocky in any way, but just, I mean, we've just from racing these cars and since we've got started in 2017, I mean, we have won everything there is to win, but hammers and the mint. And it's like those two things are just getting us and we want them so bad.
Dude, that's the winning mentality right there though, dude. Don't
What
lose
keeps
that
you
drive.
coming back?
Yeah. Hey, so I was asking all the other guys too. Actually, we'll ask what your favorite meal was on the lake bed later, but did anything funny or wild happen, like while you guys were out there at the races that was not on the track?
Not really. I mean, it was just the whole Donald Cerrone thing, and then I guess just the whole Ultra 3 thing. I mean, after going to Ultra 3, we wake up the next morning and wish we didn't go.
It was that wild, dude. So
it's that wild.
It's so crazy. So we got one of our Corey Levin sent this picture. That's one of his. It's a 240cc little whatever trail 90 or whatever 70 or whatever those things. Look at that thing, Phil. It's got a wheelie bar on it.
That's pretty wild. Last year we left the Ultra 3 and Beau said he was building one and racing for sure.
Every year we leave there, I'm building one and I'm coming and I'm racing, but then I decide not to.
Dude, I feel like those things are death traps. Like, who did you say that before, Chris? But like, you'd have to wear a full-on like football outfit to not hurt yourself, dude.
I mean, they did ban them in the 80s, so you know.
Oh man! All right, so is that the goal for next year then, Phil? Let your co-driver come home with a gold medal in the Ultra 3, and then you guys can go out there and win.
I don't know. I worry if he races the Ultra 3, I might not have a co-driver on. If they move Ultra 3 after the race, then I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll talk to Dave about making sure that happens for Beau. What was your excuse me? What was your guys' favorite meal out there on the lake bed?
I don't know. We got a couple good buddies, Steve and Elsie, and we call Elsie Camp Cook, and Steve supplies all the meat, and he goes to that Snake River and gets like tons of Wagyu steaks. So it's like, I don't know, what do we have, like 15 Wagyu steaks the night before dinner or before the race, Beau?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, that's wild. Chris, what I'm hearing here is these guys live like kings out there.
I mean, you know, if you're shooting to be the king, you should eat like a king, I guess.
It's like that whole thing, dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have.
Yeah, sounds right to me.
That's pretty cool, though, man. I love the off-road community and stuff. Like, it's just cool for me to see and to hear about that. I really think that you guys did awesome. And, you know, maybe I am, you know, over analyzing it, but I think that your guys' skill set out in the rocks is definitely getting better, dude.
We're trying. You know, the cool part about Can-Am is like, you know, Hunter and Cody and Kyle and Dustin. Well, Dustin and I race against each other all year, but rest of us don't. And we all meet up down there at least once a year, push each other in the rock. I think that really helps make us faster by getting like our whole group together and not just pre-running by ourselves always. Like race week, we kind of do our own deal. Everybody's kind of separate, but we'll try to always meet up down there and push each other. And the common goal is we
push
want,
each other.
we
They
want, no
literally
matter what,
push
we want
each other.
Can-Am to win.
Yeah, dude, totally. Chris was just saying you guys literally push each other, but like that's true. Like you guys literally do push each other because the rocks are so gnarly.
Yeah, we're pre-running or we're pre-running. We're down there playing. I'm like, why are we all driving in each other's dust so much? Like we're just out here for fun, but it's like we're all competitive and we want to be right on each other the whole time.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a good job, man. And thanks for coming on the Dirt Life show. When does KOH prep start for you guys now? Well, I know you guys got the mint, but like, what are you guys going to start getting ready for KOH? Because the Miller brothers said that they start getting ready, I think, in May.
Well, we normally get ready about like 4 weeks before the race. I thought we were racing a Best in the Desert race this weekend, and it got postponed. So I actually prepped my King of the Hammers. My new Hammers car is fully prepped right now, already done because we were going to race it this weekend. So it's sitting there ready to go.
Oh, right on, man. So it sounds like you can just take it wherever you want and just go race, right, dude? There looks like there's snow up there though in the area, like Cal City area. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of glad that I don't have to go up there and do video because I'm not in the cold weather. So.
No, I think it was a good call for them. Obviously, we always want to race, but like we were looking at the weather and like we have to go over the Tehachapis to get there, and the Tehachapi shows like 20 inches of snow tomorrow or something, and that wouldn't be very fun with a 32-foot race trailer.
Yeah, exactly. All right, boys. Well, thanks for.
Didn't you see all the snow at Glen Helen right now?
In where?
Glen Helen.
No, actually, I didn't.
Yeah, it's all been posted on there right now. It's like there's like 2 inches of snow all over the track at Glen Helen. Like
really?
Everyone's all tripping out about that.
Dude, that is crazy. And Nitro Rallycross is the weekend after the Mint 400 too. So who knows, man? This weather is wild. Well, hey, thanks boys for coming on. We really appreciate you guys hanging out. You guys really did a great job out there at KOH. You want to throw a shout out to anybody before we get Mitchell Alsup on here?
Hi, Mitchell Alsup.
All right, boys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good one. See you guys.
You guys too.
Have a good.
Later.
All right. See ya.
All right, so we'll get Mitchell on here in just a second, and I'll actually there we go, and talk with him a little bit about his race. Chris, dude, the stuff that happens at KOH, dude. Everybody has their own individual stories. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, you got one of the things we're working on this year is a little piece where basically everyone kind of goes, yeah, you just gotta kind of be there. You gotta kind of go.
Yeah, you pretty much do. One of the guys that actually yeah, one of the guys that was actually there and that did go was Mitchell Alsup. Mitchell Alsup, what's up, dude? How are you?
Yo, how's it going, guys?
Dude, it's doing good, man. Hey, was this your first year at KOH inside the car?
So I've raced with the DA family, Cameron Steele, for the last 3 years there. Mm-hmm. But now with the Best in the Desert desert race a week before, we ran that in pro stock, ended up P2. But we've been doing a lot of work in the rocks over the last 3 years. Me personally, I raced it last year in the stock class. My business, Alsup Racing Development, builds a full turnkey chassis for the rocks. So we're there, we're present, we're busy there.
Yeah, I can only imagine, dude. There's a lot to take care of when you have to support all those vehicles that you're building.
Yeah, so we had our desert car. Steele ran his car in the desert and in the rock race, so there was a full prep in between there and a few other customer cars, plus the support, and the prep beforehand was just outrageous. We were a little bit behind, unfortunately, due to parts, and I think the day I left for Hammers, I went home and slept for like an hour, and then got in the truck and left to the lake bed, and we finished the pro stock car on the lake bed.
No way, really?
Yes. So brand new 23 that we got, brand new 23 X3, we got 2 weeks before KOH.
Dude,
put
that's
our
wild.
cage on it, our suspension on it, and Sparco seats, BFG tires, and went for it.
Dude, well, actually, you know what? That's actually a good question to ask, Chris. I think you'd probably be into this answer. Is Mitchell, what's the difference between the desert car and the rock car builds?
So the biggest thing for us, so take our full chassis cars. The biggest thing for us is the boat sides. And then a high.
So anybody that doesn't know what the boat sides means, it's like a UTV enthusiast. Is most UTVs have just like a flat bottom, right? And then the skid plate, and then they come up to the doors just like that. Well, what Mitchell's talking about is instead of having just a flat bottom, they raise the sides up like this so you can slide around the rocks a little bit better. So it's got a different angle on the bottom portion of the outside of the chassis.
Yeah, we have like a 10-inch rise on our chassis. And we still package them with a 25-gallon fuel cell. They're actually really our KOH cars really become a hybrid car. We're racing them down in Baja as well. And Best in the Desert, we'll have 2 out at the Mint. So it's good.
Dude, it's wild to see. Like, we talked about it a little bit on the show before, like how far UTVs have come, dude. It's just like blows my mind every time I think about it.
Yeah, shoot. I started in this industry 2015, 2016, and just to see the evolution of just the X3, just all the UTVs, just see where they're at now. It's the times, overall times, like it's.
That's why you asked earlier, George. You know, the probability of a side-by-side winning 4,400, and I mean, you kind of look at how fast.
Yeah.
And how far they've come already. I mean, it just seems
inevitable. Yeah, I don't know though, dude, because you got to think like 4,400 cars could still, like, if they had a perfect race, good God.
Yeah. Fast, right? Big tires. I mean, I think that gap's closing. I mean, the Miller brothers are showing a great, great 4,400 class.
I'm definitely not saying a UTV can't win. I'm just saying, dude, like, maybe I'm saying if a UTV does win, like my head will probably explode.
Well, you just say like 3 years ago for a UTV to finish in 4,400 and finish in the top 10 was like mind blowing. And now you got multiple cars finishing in the top 10. So at that rate of like improvement, it doesn't seem that improbable to me.
Hey, I think a couple 4,400 guys might like want to argue that point though.
Right. Yeah, dollars spent too.
Well,
right?
let's hope so.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
want to
totally.
keep it super competitive.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's good for everybody.
Honestly, like, I love these discussions and conversations because it makes everybody hungry to do it, right? And it just elevates the whole sport. Hey, real quick, Mitchell, the Gray family said, we love you, Mitchell. So proud of you. Actually, somebody said that they love you too, but it's too far up in the comments. So.
Yeah, shout out to the Gray family. Jay, big part of getting us to KOH. They live out in Barstow, and he's always driving out to Bakersfield to work and help, and really got us over the hump this year. So hats off to their family.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is we always talk about this, but like it doesn't matter. You could have 10 years of time to be able to prepare for one race, and no matter what happens, the day of the race, you're still fucking tightening bolts.
Yeah, man, that was probably, we had some parts on delay to get. We had 5 cars to prep for the 2 weeks at KOH, and that was the biggest downfall this year. Was just we started months in advance and planning, and we just missed it. It felt like we were a week behind the whole time. But to go out there and find success and have a presence there, it's such a big event. It's great. It makes it all worth it.
Yeah, totally. And then so you obviously got to get in the car this year and you raced the desert race. You said you came home second. How was that desert course? And what car did you drive, or what class did you go in? The Pro Stock?
So Pro Stock class, for the desert race, which I'll be racing in Best in the Desert. I'll follow the point series there and in the Triple Crown now. It's really cool. I think the class is great. I mean, bolt-on cage, bolt-on suspension, stock fuel tank, stock radiator. It has the bed still on it. I think it's a great class. I'd like to see a lot more people racing the stock unit because how capable it is.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm a massive fan. Actually, Chris is a massive fan too. He actually raced in the California 300 last year in a pretty close to stock Honda Talon. Did well, podium guy.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there you go, right there, big podium guy. But I'm a massive fan of the stock classes. Like I always promote this. Like anytime that you can have a UTV be as close to what the person can purchase on the showroom floor, the better. Like when we were racing Lucas, dude, I tried to change as little on the car as possible just because I had so much fun. It was like, what do they call it? The driver's class, right? In quotes. Like that's the way to do it, man. It makes racing so much fun.
Yeah, I love our full chassis cars. They're works of art. Our guys at the shop do an amazing job. So there is a customer for that car. And there's also a customer for a pro stock car. And I'm fortunate enough to be supported and be able to race the pro stock class. Because it's so close to what the end user can take out to the dunes, take out to the desert and use. Yeah, but we still have the stock doors on it.
It's so rad, right? I love that. Hey, are you going to try to race rocks next year or no? Because that seems like an undertaking in itself.
Yeah, so I raced rocks last year.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had few issues, but ended up 5th in class, which I was stoked about. First year, Cameron still played a huge part in that, coaching me. Would I like to race the rocks next year? Absolutely. I actually like the rocks just as much as being in the desert because it's so technical.
Dude, I think you're probably the first person to ever say that.
I love rock racing. I actually took we did 5 test days with a customer out there coaching in the rocks. And I actually rode my dirt bike up all the trails.
No way.
Right next to the guy in his UTV, and we were just ripping around.
Chris, this dude's a nut job.
So I love the rock. It's a great time.
Dude, on a dirt bike, that is so. Did you see the King of the Motos? How crazy those dudes are?
Yes, they're crazy. I'd like to partake. If I was in a little bit better shape, and my guys are probably laughing at me now, but if I was in a little better shape, I would take King of the Motos on.
Dude, you are nuts. Chris, I would probably throw up within the first third of a mile.
I probably would too right now, though.
Oh my God, dude. That would be insane. Hey, but like I would like to see you out in the rocks in a UTV. Maybe work your way from a UTV to the dirt bikes or something though, dude.
So I did run which I never pre-ran the trail, Thor Hammer.
I don't know.
I ran that. Yeah, so I ran one. So I guess we could talk about the desert or the rock race. So I raced the rock race, the desert loop for Cameron Steele because we built and prepped his car. So this year I raced the first 80 miles and then he got in the car to do the rock loop.
Oh, okay.
So we fueled at Maine and he got a little fuel splash on him. So when he came back around to remote 2, he's calling on the radio. I need a driver. Mitch, get back in the car.
Oh, crap.
So I actually got to go do a few rock trails, which I was super stoked about. And we ended up 8th in Pro Mod class, which is not what that program goes to do. And over the last 3 years, we're getting better and better with Cameron out there. So yeah, I want to continue the momentum and presence that we have out there. And if I can be a driver record and run my own car out there next year, I'm there.
Dude, yeah, that would be super cool. But what I basically heard was, Chris, we need walkie-talkies for all of the teams, and we need to have you suited up, ready to go in case anybody needs a driver to replace them.
Yeah,
we can make that happen.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, you never know what happens out there, right? And we try to be as prepared as possible.
Yeah, it is wild, man. I've seen some crazy stuff happen at desert races. I mean, even at the California 300 last year, we had some crazy stuff happen. But yeah, man, it's just cool to see. Like another thing that I'm understanding right now is just the camaraderie that every single team, pit, family members, all of these people always have, dude. It blows my mind, and it's all to get a vehicle across the finish line in first place, dude. Like it's so cool.
Yeah.
You got to really commend all your family and friends, right?
Oh, absolutely. My family, my friends, the guys at the shop, everybody supports and backs our program. And it's a whole team effort when we get out there.
What would you have done better if you could have done anything a little bit better during your desert race this year?
So Johnson Valley area is like my, what's the word? Like my kryptonite, right? Like
your arch nemesis?
Yeah. So I started racing 1600 cars back in 13, 14. And we'd race out there all the time and it would just kick my butt. I mean, I could not finish a race out there, but I go anywhere else and I'm doing great. So I would say my pace to conserve the car the first lap of the desert race I went too slow for sure. We picked it up the second lap, and Dustin Jones had a good run and ended up beating us by 5 minutes. We did have an issue. We broke a drive line on lap 2, so we had to conserve. But honestly, for a car, kind of like Phil said, like brand new car out of the box, 0 miles on it, and we're taking it through the desert to end up second. Like that's not what I go to racing to do, but it was a good effort from my team and everybody involved.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the racer mentality, right, Chris? Is your glass has to be half full. You got to know what you did good, but you also have to be accountable for the stuff that you can do better. And I'm sure the debrief, like after the races, you were probably just like, dude, we got to do this, and this better.
Yeah.
Like, notch those in your head or whatever. Like lock them in your head, and then make sure that you execute on those next year.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And moving into the mint now that the California City races, we're gonna move our efforts to the mint and run for the Triple Crown.
Is it snowing up by you guys right now?
It doesn't snow in the valley floor here in Bakersfield, but there's definitely snow all around us.
Dude, it's wild, man. California is freaking me out right now, Chris.
Right?
Dude, we sponsor the Soaplet team. It's some moto guys that are vets, and they drove from North Carolina out there for the Best in the Desert opener this weekend. So they're actually going out to Lucerne Valley because, well, there's no racing. But wherever they are out there in Cal City area, they said it was coming down. So,
dude, are they just gonna go just drive around?
I'm gonna link you up with them after this, so you can go talk to them.
I'm not driving up there.
No, you just called.
Okay, good. I didn't want to get off. Okay, I got obligations to drive up there in the snow now. Well, Mitchell, dude, I think you guys did a fantastic job. I mean, obviously, you want to do better, right? But a couple things that are on the sidelines. You guys had a ton of people that were actually helping the program and doing all that. Did you guys have anything funny or like wild that happened during the whatever week that you guys were there?
So, yeah. Two scenarios that I could briefly talk about is qualifying for the rock race in Power Hour with Cameron Steele.
Yeah.
I'm sitting right seat, which I'm not super stoked on, but it's our car. It's, we got this program going and we do good. We do good on the first obstacle, Chocolate Thunder. And then we go up hard right and we turn the car over.
Oh,
right. So you got drones, media, all this stuff, and we are just hanging upside down. And all of a sudden, it's like
shank it off the first tee with the parking lot right there, and it's your balls rattling around in the parking lot. Yeah.
So we're hanging upside down, and he's like, "Get the winch," and we winch ourselves over in like less than 3 minutes. It seemed like get him back in the car, and he finishes his qualifying run, and that just shows never give up, right?
Yeah. So how did you guys end up qualifying?
74th. Unfortunately.
Jesus.
So, and I had the desert loop for him that I drove. I gave him the car, I think in 13th. So we were moving.
Dude, you guys finished during the rock race, Cameron finished 12th.
Yeah, we were moving.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
What was the other topic that you were going to talk about?
So back to the desert race the week prior, we're running a stock tank, right? So we're going into remote to fuel. And and my crew fueled and totally pitted Sarah Price and thought it was because our cars look so alike. We're both Can-Am, both yellow, right?
And she didn't say anything?
Oh, she took the fuel and everything. It was like, oh, I'm not even full yet. And they didn't even realize it was a total mistake. It's
No
Dustin,
way.
whatever, but totally did a fuel stop like for her. And we're doing some work with her right now, which is super rad. But yeah, my guys told me that. We were all dying.
Dude, I'm definitely writing this down. We're going to send this, put this one out as a clip too.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious. The funniest part about it, though, is she was just like, yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. She's like, hey, I'm not full yet. I'm not full. We're like, my guys are like, this is not your pit.
Dude, that's wild, right? I mean, I guess kudos to your pit for just being able to just focus on the execution.
Right. No, they're awesome. You cannot do this without good people and good pit crew. And when they were telling me this, I could tell you. One of my guys was like, he was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, dude, this is an awesome story.
It's pretty awesome.
Great.
But now it's just thinking about like me, like maybe I'll just like run up by the pits and I'll just be like, hey, fill her up, boys.
Yeah. You see the Alsup truck, just pull in there and my guys will just get you dialed in.
So we don't need a pit crew now, George. We just need a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we're already good.
Yeah.
We're getting
There you go.
We're getting closer.
Oh, this is this is sweet, man. Hey, and then final question: what was your guys' favorite meal while you guys were out there on the lake bed?
So I've been thinking about this. We ate great. Family's cooking awesome. Like I think it's the snacks.
Who cooks? Does Jay cook or one of the girls?
So we were bouncing between customer barbecue, Cameron Steele's whole tribe, and then my girlfriend and I. So we were just all over the place. But the snacks during the day, chips and dip, cookies, just all throughout the day.
Dude, that's where I'm at too, Chris. Just the finger foods, just snacking all day. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Whenever, whatever. Did either of y'all have the little pizza place out of the back of the fire engine?
Oh, Dang Brothers Pizza?
Yeah, it was dang good pizza right there, man.
They're at the dunes and stuff. Those guys do actually make some pretty good wood fire pizza.
Something special about ordering a pizza in the middle of like a dust storm. You can barely see the people making it. This is a unique experience.
Yeah, and it tastes delicious.
That's solid. Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about, Mitch?
No, just thank everybody, involved. Thank you for having me on the show. Can-Am, BFG, Raceline, Vision Canopies, Blood Lubricants, Blaze Racing Services, UTV Shocks. I mean, racing is truly a team effort, and there's no I in team,
Yeah, absolutely. You guys got some awesome people that help out too. Like, they're Jeremy and Stephanie. And
Jeremy and Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, the whole Jay starves himself. Yeah, right.
Jay does starve himself. Jay starves himself. He does not eat. I'm like, dude, you're working harder than anyone out here. You should eat.
He's on that military diet still.
I know. Guy needs to get a burger or something, man.
All right, that's
what
what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell him he's got to get a burger. All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, dude. I really appreciate it. You did an awesome job this year. I can't wait to see you at the Mint 400 as well.
All right, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Mitchell. We'll see you later.
See
All
ya.
right, Chris, we're going to wind down the show a little bit here. I definitely wanted to thank you and the whole Maxxis crew. Everybody that was out there did an awesome thing for all of the fans, gave that taco party. You did that little Jeremy McGrath ride day. That was super cool for everybody to go out and do. And obviously for your brand supporting all of these fantastic racers and everybody that was out at the track, from the people that we had on today, so all the way to the top 44 guys, all the way down to the kids, man. You guys are doing an awesome job. So I appreciate that. But even more so, I appreciate you just being a part of the off-road community.
Hey, I appreciate you, George.
Cool, man. Well, thanks so much. All right, we're going to wind it out. You got anybody you want to say hi to before we close her down?
I saw, let's hear. Who did we see on here? I saw Dave from Collective He's a soupy guy. We saw Bradley M. Howe, UTV Off-Road Mag. Rosie hopped on here. Cameron.
Yeah, D. Parsons.
By the way, what we should have told Mitchell there was he needs to work a little wager with Cameron on the King of Moto stuff.
Ooh.
Because Cam's got to go back and do that again, right?
Dude, those guys are so gnarly, though. Like, I don't know how comfortable I'd feel making those dudes wager on that, because I would feel like I'm guilty if they wadded up.
We wouldn't make them. We would just kind of goad them into it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we don't want to be liable.
Exactly. We got insurance to worry about. Hey, well, thank you very much for everything, dude. I really appreciate it. So, will we see you at the Mint 400?
There'll be some people there. I don't know if I'll be. I gotta keep everyone guessing. I talked a little bit of smack about the 4,400 guys there.
Oh, okay, yeah, just in case, right? All right, well, I'll put on my Maxxis hat if we don't see you out there. But yeah, man, I appreciate everything. So, all right, I'm gonna wind down the show here. You can hit the road anytime you want, dude. I appreciate it.
Be good. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man. See ya. All right. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate it. You can always hit up the sponsor deals page on thedirtlifeshow.com. Hit any of those links. You can save on a bunch of our partners, a bunch of our sponsors. Get yourself some good deals over there. You can always hit us up anytime on social media. Instagram is the best place. Slide into our DMs. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know who you guys want to interview. Any of that stuff, man. It's always really cool to see and hear what you guys think of the show and how we can progress. Thank you guys at IMG Motorsports for letting us have the show here tonight. KOH Recap was pretty insane, man. I'm really, really stoked. But most of all, and thank you to all of our guests, too. They did a fantastic job at the races and on the show. So most important part is thank you guys. We really appreciate it. See you next time on The Dirt Life. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.